Alright, hello everyone. It's a slight bit late. Everything is fine. Only didn't have, like, all the stress beforehand. It's fine, don't worry about it. Hello, hello. We're at Big Ten. 10th contest. We're finally here. Well, finally, I say finally here. We didn't do like 9 other ones before this, but we're here. As always, to my left, and very nearly not to my left, is Boop.
Hi, I was late. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen.
Boop gave me a mild heart attack.
I'm sorry.
Today, but...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I'm sorry.
And to my right is Medkits, who did not give me a heart attack today.
Hi.
Hello, Medkits.
Hi.
Any expectations for what you're about to see, or are you just ready to see some funny things?
The more I have to read, the less I'm gonna like it.
The more, oh boy!
Everyone get the mittens out.
Oh boy.
Just telling you right now.
Fun
I don't
fact,
wanna, I don't
my-
wanna have to read it more than 3 times to understand what the fuck is going on.
Fair enough. Fun fact, my Discord is shitting itself right now.
We're off to a great start, y'all. We're off to a great start. Alright. Anything you want everyone to know, Medkits, before we start about like what type of style you plan to look for, what kind of OCs you like?
I don't honestly know.
Alright.
I'll just go with the vibe, man.
Alright. In that case, let's do this. Medkit's voice is a bit low. Okay. Let me see if I can bump Medkits up to 8 billion volume. I can bump Medkits up to 8 billion volume. It should work better.
Why is Hina here? Can we ban her? Is that possible? Can I ask for a Hina ban real quick?
Thank you for the resub, Hina. I don't think we can ban Hina. I don't think that's how it works. Anywho, here we go. First OC of the night. Spickleys, to no one's surprise, made a failing tester.
-2 points.
When I was logging this, I was like, oh hey, I feel like I wonder who. Wait a minute, why am I asking myself that question? Only one person dares to continually make phalanx casters. Spiffly. Anywho, 6-star Noxera phalanx tester.
We have another sarcasm.
Yup.
It's okay, everything is shoved into sarcasm anyway.
We do have quite a number of sarcasms, so it do be like that. She is a very tall sarcasm, though. Well, you know, that's a lot taller than me. I'm like, for reference, I'm like 173, so she got like a whole 11 centimeters of height on me. On the other hand, I'm also short, so you know, there's that. Anything to add before we scoot along to our stats and trusts bonuses?
I'm good. I got nothing to say.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Cool. Here's our stats. So comparison would be to Lin and Carnelian. If I forgot Carnelian, specifically mine, I'm going to be on the spot.
It seems to be on par with both of them. I don't have my Arknights open right now. It's logging in.
Okay, I do.
This is a par for the course. A little bit weaker on the defense side of things, but other than that, they makes up with a bit more attack, so it's overall not too bad. Actually, that's a lot more attack than I think is.
But maybe
Is that-
like
wait,
offense
80?
focused, a more offensive one.
Why is it going to 974?
That's with the trust bonus and what you call it.
Oh, I'm not seeing
Potentials.
the potential. That's why.
That's on the next page. I have to.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure I can do math, but
No, actually, you can't.
all right. But okay, BP cost of 24. That's also very average. Yeah, it's pretty vanilla. Can't say anything about this one.
Alrighty. Well, let's go on to see what exactly makes Talia tick. What exactly sets her apart? So what do we got? We got when you're more attacked, when you deal damage, you gain barrier equal to 1% of max HP. It goes up to 5% when you do it to elite or boss enemies, but you cannot exceed 200% of your max HP. And when that skill ends, all the barrier goes away, and you get that back as HP. Okay. So that's how you do the. That's kind of how you do the phalanx mitigation. Interesting. Second talent is, let's see. I think we're figuring out why there's a little more attack. You have you start dying when you're not fighting. That's a good bit of HP you're losing.
Yeah. The question is, does this kill?
Yes. If it's light geeks, it kills.
Yeah, it kills. So in other words, it kills them.
You got about 20 seconds. If you're not getting shot at, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Which, from a lore aspect, actually kind of fits with Noxera lore, since they're very very combat and fight oriented, if that makes sense. with what I remember about Noxera lore. Probably to a bit of an extreme, but
Okay. I'm not very good at lore, so I don't know. But,
I don't know how I feel about free taunt.
yeah, the free taunt is a bit much. Especially because, you know, when you look at like Weena, for example, you can abuse the shit out of that. And we've seen it be abused. And on a Phalanx caster that, you know, doesn't mind getting hit, you know, because they're inherently tankier than most of the team. It's pretty strong.
on the other
But at the
hand,
same time, they're killing themselves if they're not hitting or being attacked in the past 5 seconds. So 2.5 seconds on 2x speed, which is pretty short duration. But then on a more hectic map, this isn't that big of a deal. And I'm assuming with a decent medic, you could pretty much ignore this, if I'm being honest with you.
I would argue that the downside just doesn't matter. Unless you're like actively trying to use it to gain SP.
Yeah,
Because with maps these days, there are enough ranged enemies that it's just like they're spaced out enough, you know, unless it's like a very early IS stage or a very early stage, like some stage 1 of a new event, you know.
like, I mean, I'm pretty sure a Gummy could probably keep her healthy, if I'm being honest with you.
probably.
On skill 1. Yeah, it's not exactly the craziest talent. Like, the talent 2 just sounds kind of like the only drawback is they can't solo if there's ever a gap that's like pretty long, and they will die. But it depends on the skills. We have to see the skills. If any of the skills have a heal of some sorts, then we'll have to see.
Yeah, I will say things we usually try to work around is like what they are individually, but there are, but obviously, you know, being considered medics is like, okay, you know, people tend to not run things without a medic.
Yeah, like any of the healing defenders, any of the bards. Okay, bards might be a bit of a tight window for healing, but it would
Bards might
definitely
be.
sustain. It might. The bards definitely can at least keep them alive for a bit longer. But we'll have to
I
look.
don't,
So I'm just double
I don't
checking
think
to see
Gummy
what
could
the-
do it. Oh, it's 2280, not 3000. Okay, hold on.
You're losing 114 HP a second.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gummy can do just enough to maybe keep her alive long enough for at least an enemy to come out.
Let me check Gummy S1 real quick.
But I think we have to look at the skills to see what happens. Because if there's ever a skill that just says turn off the talent for a second, then I'm kind of like, okay, now this really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like it really depends on that, right? So let's take a look at the skills. Oh yeah, so here's the potential. So the map.
There's
a
a attack I'm mixing, yeah.
Also, yeah, Gummy S1 can absolutely just heal it
Yeah,
without
okay.
problem.
Yeah, figured. So effectively, talent 2 doesn't really do much unless you're really gunning for that skill point.
In which case, it appears that you kind of do want to lose HP and don't just want to be full healed.
Let's see.
If you're just looking at talent 1, it's you get more barrier from the talent for your max HP missing.
I'm assuming the excess healing means excess barrier, not because it's not healing, right?
No. It's
because-
because the talent 1 makes sense because it says you remove the barrier and you get an equal amount of health. So if technically you can go
that
above
that
100%.
healing, right.
The heal
So-
doesn't happen until after the skill ends, basically.
Correct. Yeah, which works with the Phalanx caster playstyle.
I forgot about that part. My bad.
So basically, there's a universe where this character can get 200% health as a barrier, and then in that case, the 100% of health would be damage from skill 1.
Which
That's basically
is
what it says.
not a very large amount. 2200 arts damage is kind of meh.
Increase maximum barrier from talent hall by 3% max siege. Wait, what? Hold on.
Basically means you can get a thicker barrier.
Yeah, but wait. For every...
Basically, if you're missing 2% max HP, instead of getting, I think, 1% barrier, you get 4% barrier, or 1.
So it's easy to get to the
0.03%.
200% ratio, I see.
Yeah.
That's how I'm reading it, yeah.
And you can also just choose to manually deactivate.
There's that too.
It's a decently fast cycle.
Yeah, I think this is just a good cycling one for sure. The ASPD is nice. Minus attack makes sense because it's just supposed to be like I want to get my health back up.
Yeah.
So it kind of works with the
This is
kit.
like the more you're being tankier as opposed to your job is to murderize everything that looks funny.
Yeah, this is definitely not a damage ability.
No. Most things
I
that
feel-
your attack out by 50% and do not do things like that.
Well, yeah.
I hope not.
I'm not sure if I'm not gonna say that this is what do you call it, redundant. And redundant's not the right word, but I feel like this really wouldn't use this skill in a lot of areas, you know? Like I don't know if I would actively use this skill.
I would say having a situation skill isn't a bad thing. It just depends on if the rest of the skills are also situational. If it's all like, okay, you'd only use this in a very niche situation, I'd be like, now that'd be cool.
Can you go back to the
What-
talent page for me, actually, real quick? Can you go back to the talents for me?
Yeah, sure thing.
Because the way I see it is that the skill 1 feels like attack plus 50%, you know? That's what it feels like to me.
Is it per enemy they get?
When dealing damage, it's just per instance of damage.
Okay.
The way I interpret it. Like, if you do any red number to an enemy,
Yeah. Okay.
that
So it's
means-
once per hit. So that makes the attack speed
Yeah.
way more sense. All right.
yeah, that's
I
why
was
you
trying
want
to
the
wonder.
attack speed as opposed to number. You just want more
Yeah.
hits to stack them. Like I said,
Okay.
one seems to be more like a tanky skill, where like, you know, you're just making yourself being able to be more tanky, and you're just cycling through that. That's why it's on a pretty short cooldown, and you know the SPD, so you get to crank up your barrier. So you can, you know, the more HP you have missing, you can have a thicker barrier during the skill because it raises your maximum cap.
Another
Just rotate.
sorry, go. Keep continuing.
Like I said, it's a situational. It's a situational. It's not one that you're like, okay, this is my go-to skill. It's a situational.
I do agree with that, but another thing that irks me, again, this is also like very small. This is a very small thing, but this is like the lowest defense of a 6-star Phalanx caster we've seen, and to have like a tanking skill specifically just feels very meh, you know, like
I
on the
wouldn't say-
lowest
I
defense.
would disagree with that because of the
No,
way
it makes sense, yeah.
because of the way Talia works is around HP as opposed to physical, as opposed to like just raw resistance, like tanky numbers. Is how I see it. So like to me, this kind of makes sense with what the overall intent of the function is. Now, whether or not, you know, this works for various different players is a whole different thing, but like the overall concept, like the box, quote unquote, makes sense to me.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been more interesting to see the Phalanx caster have less defense on average, like way less, and have more HP as a flip.
An absolute brick of HP, just raw
No,
HP
no, no.
stat
Yeah,
stick.
like kind of like the crushers for the guards,
Oh,
but
true,
like
yeah.
kind of lead into it because it makes way more sense. Because if you're gonna have all your stuff scaling off HP, then you might as well lean into the whole
Have-
HP. Maybe it's a bit squishier. Like you're as tanky as like maybe like a Vanguard, but you still got good amount of health bulk to work with.
Have just enough HP to not get one shot by things.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I mean, what
Mm.
beeswax I think can barely tank the spear from.
Mhm.
Wait, does she need
Uh,
help for that? No, I think she needs. No, she doesn't need help.
If she has enemies in range, she'll be fine.
Yeah, well,
It's-
Patriot, well, this Patriot Spirit is pretty tanky. I use
Ah,
beeswax
that's
as a metric, but
Mm.
yeah, I feel like skill one's honestly fine for what it
It's
is.
fine. Yeah, for
it's
what you're
fine,
trying
yeah.
to do with the talents, I think it's fine. Again, it might not work for everyone, but I think for what you're trying to do, I think it works fine. Let's look at
Let's
S2.
just go to.
So this is a
Attack
defensive
plus-
recovery skill.
So yeah, she has to get hit. Attack plus 100% when she kills an enemy. Deal 20% of missing HP as arch damage to enemies around the target and inflict fear for 1 second. That's. Wait, so she just does constant fear if she kills something.
Yup. Well, she has to
You-
kill it.
Is fear in the game,
Yes.
or
Nymph.
am I okay?
It is in
what's
the
fear
game now
again?
because of Nymph.
Oh, I don't have Nymph because
basically
I
they just
got
walk backwards.
scared by Minar after 60
Oh.
pulls. Oh,
I need to
I'm sorry.
lower that.
That's a sore spot for me still.
Sorry.
But yeah, Nymph
Um,
S2. Basically, they just turn the
walk
other
backwards.
direction, is the
Yeah.
TLDR. This is only if they kill. It's not on hit.
No, but it's whenever she kills. So if there's any like chaff, she will pretty much inflict fear. 100% attack. She has what? How much was attack again? Like what? 900 or so?
974.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad damage. Bonus HP, but she doesn't have nearly enough HP to make me think it's actually worth
Missing,
Like,
it's like
it's
you're
more for the
doing-
fear, if anything.
Yeah, you're doing like what 25%. You're doing like what 500
Assume she's half that 250 bonus damage. That's kind of negligible.
Yeah,
But the
you're-
CC is very nice, which is fair. It's a good CC. Fear is amazing. So,
Yeah,
um,
the missing HP damage is negligible. But,
you know, thinking about all the bosses, I can't think of too many situations where like having that AoE fear would actually stun lock a boss too often. So I think it's okay in this case.
you have to have a lot of chaff that like slowly
Yeah.
trickles in to take advantage of that,
Yeah.
and it only lasts 21 seconds.
It's also a defensive, so you need to either get hit a lot, which that can't taunt, so I guess it's fine. But if that wasn't an option, you also have stuff like Liscon or Warfare and like SP battering them, so it's fine. Actually, I just realized Quirkus would be amazing with this operator.
Probably.
Yeah, skill 2, just dump SP onto them for free. Holy crap.
Ooh, let's go,
Yeah,
Quirkus.
so that would actually be amazing.
Hey, we can have touch in here too.
Yeah, touch.
Somehow goats work with this operator. Sasuga Spipley.
Mm.
I'm okay with skill 2.
It's fine. It's good.
I think it works.
I feel like the attack I feel like the attack's fine.
This to me is like a mobbing skill.
It's definitely a mob skill. It's like the I don't want to get overwhelmed skill. That's not
Yeah,
an easy
like
skill.
you're clearing out chaff and like delaying the
Elites or
the
whoever's in
scary
there.
ones, right? Yeah.
Mm.
That's what this dude feels like.
I want to move on to skill 3 real quick because I
Yeah.
noticed something really funny about it.
Yeah, go for
It
it.
says offensive recovery. How does a Phalanx caster do offensive recovery? Am I crazy?
I have
Wait,
no
what?
idea. Spipley, what have
Wait.
you done? Spipley,
Yeah,
what have you
Spipley.
done? Spipley?
Spipley, did you forget what Phalanx casters do?
Spipley, did you? So,
Spipley,
Spipley?
I'm not crazy, right? Like, there's
No,
no universe
you're not
where they
crazy.
can.
you
You're
did
not.
not.
Spipley
So,
might have done an
so
oopsie.
it has to
You
be.
can only
it has to
generate
be the
SP
talent,
through
right?
talent too. Oh my god.
But oh my god, this is.
Yup.
Hey, just use silence S3. There we go.
Okay, I mean, okay, we talked about it just a second ago. There's plenty of what's the word called?
SP generation.
And SP generators, so doesn't really matter in this case. I'm just like, the management sounds miserable.
This is the correct way of. I remember someone accidentally made an
And-
offensive recovery bard in the past, which was pretty fun to see.
40
but-
up to 2000. It's what, 4280 HP, 4279. I'm trying to calculate.
So you
let's
need
see,
to
we
be
got
half
20.
HP to get SP. Am I correct?
Yup.
Yeah.
And you need to constantly be healing just enough. And we're assuming right now that this Italia will absolutely kill themselves given the chance. So in other words, you need to heal just enough.
But below
You can't heal
eight-
too much. You can't heal too little. You gotta heal just enough. That is.
Well, it's when you're below 50, you gain 1 SP when you lose HP on a half-second cooldown. So you're losing HP per second. So you got
Yeah.
so you got what? You can get
well, my point though is think like this.
10 seconds. You can get
well,
10
yeah,
SP
but-
before you explode, assuming you don't get
Well,
healed
no-
from anywhere else.
If you think about it though, like let's say you're in that ideal soft spot where you're healing just enough to like not die, but you're still stuck constantly below 50%.
Mhm.
How do you get to 50%? Like controllably? That's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass. It's
I
doable.
mean,
No, I agree.
I
It's
would-
doable.
Here's the thing. That's the thing I actually like about S3 now that I'm thinking about it, is it requires planning. It's not something you can go
Yeah.
into a stage you've never done before, plop down and be like, "Oh, I can use this."
You gotta
It's like,
go
no,
there.
it's just like, yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
experience the stage first and then make a plan around it, which is fine. Because you got 12 to 13 operators, and I like it.
Yeah.
And the damage isn't like that bad either. It's what?
I mean, you
It's a
gain
lot
of
45
attack.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
attack.
Because it's not percent
Um,
missing HP, it's just missing
no,
HP.
bear in
Yeah, I
mind,
mean,
though-
you also have to remember that it's a ramping HP,
Well, no,
ramping
but
attack too,
it's
because it starts
missing.
off at like 860 plus, let's say 2000,
Mhm.
right?
You can get
So
a
you
lot.
got that 2800 attack, which is great. It's a really big attack, but it's just like every time she kills something, she's getting 40 more attack essentially, right?
Wait, hold up. She's not getting 2,000 because it's missing HP, unless she's already 50%. Then she's missing 1,000. So in other words, in an ideal situation, she gets a bonus 1,000 attack, which is amazing. But there's a good chance she heals up. She's got something with her, most likely. So, assuming she gets no heals and she doesn't get immediately nuked by whatever's trying to kill her.
That's true. You gotta be worried about that.
Yeah, because she's only tanky. Oh, they're still Phalanx casters have mods, so they're not too squishy
No.
anymore with these skill. But she's still fairly squishy post skill activation. So assuming she doesn't get blown up, there's a universe where theoretically Talia can get what? About no, I just realized why are we not using Silence Altar with this character?
Yeah, just use Silence Altar.
The issue
Yeah.
with Silence Alter S3 is that she gains what 60 attack speed. She gains 30% attack, and
Just use
her
the-
talent 1 increases.
Ugh. Pray.
Wait, is that her talent? No, it is her just
Wait,
S3 because her
something-
talent 1 is her talent 1 is just Sanctuary.
Oh,
The
there's one thing I
the
want.
regen is talent 2.
Hold on. One thing I want to just double check with Spiffly here. This is usually we do it by the wording, but since the wording can be a little ambiguous. What I want to figure out is do you gain that attack equal to missing HP when you activate the skill and it stays like that, or is it a fluid number that adjusts with how much your HP is missing? Because the way I can interpret it's a fluid number, okay. Because I was like, hypothetically, it could also just be you gain it, like you just gain that and that's your static number. But okay, so it always will adjust to whatever your missing HP is. Okay. This is such a wonky scale.
I think the way I've seen the skill so far is one's pretty bland, but it makes sense. Two is also pretty bland, which makes sense though. I'm okay with them. Three is probably the only one where there's actually like any sort of skill expression. I think Boot mentioned that you can't just jump into a map and like go in willy-nilly. This is the skill that would require you to at least run it once or twice, and you gotta get that soft spot in terms of like healing, enemy timing. So it's definitely an interesting skill. It feels like a pain in the ass to use.
Yup. You're gonna have to figure out how to juggle this with like Scotty or Scotty Alt Seaborn, or juggle it with like silence drones. You have to juggle.
Yeah, something's gotta happen.
Yeah.
I think maybe a good option might be to shoe like the rice fields. I think that might be like a good amount of healing to like keep him in check, but we'll see.
Maybe? Yeah.
It's a little rough. Angelina is also an option. Amia Medic is also an option. There's lots of options. It's just I'd have to see it in person because I can't visually think too much about like how much healing you would need. But this is definitely a much more interesting skill, minus the crazy amount of execution and timing you would need to make it actually work functionally.
You would basically have to kind of would have to have a team built around using skill 3, which I kind of take issue with. Of like, it's the sweet spot, right? Where like I'm against operators that are way too free to use on their own, but at the same time I'm a little against operators that depend on everyone to make work at the same time. It's like trying to find that sweet spot. Conceptually, I think it's really cool. Practicality, I'm like,
I think at the very least you get rewarded with insane numbers if you do it
oh
correctly.
yeah, the reward is massive for it. It's a very high risk, high reward skill.
I can see Auk skill 3 being incredibly good here, and the Warfare for the
that's
HP
true.
reduction. Wait. How much defense did he have again? Sorry, could you go back real quick? 215.
It's 215.
Okay, yeah, that's so you can't. You'd have to do a lot of buffs to make sure they don't die to the Auk if they use their skill first.
To answer your question, Gigi, I don't mind primal casters because you really only need one person to make them like maximize damage. With this, it's like there's a lot more juggling. So
This feels like a very ride or die skill, and one thing that I'm personally not a fan of is keeping operators at like lower levels for certain things. For example, there are some people who use Quercus as an SP battery, but to get more SP, they keep her at Elite 1 level 1, so that she heals less to give more SP, you know?
weird breakpoints. Yeah.
So it's just like, this feels like one of those weird skills that would encourage that, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
I now understand why Spiffy was like skill 3 is gonna give all the judges an aneurysm, and I understand that now.
I don't think it's giving me an aneurysm. I think it's just kind of like I see the idea. I see how it's executed. It's well executed at the very least. I'll give him that. I just wouldn't have fun using it, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's going to pain
I
in the ass
don't.
to use, 100%.
I wouldn't say it's a complicated skill, but the way it works makes me not want to use it.
Yeah, pretty much,
Like-
exactly. Yeah.
I would just
I-
at this point I would just buff army my AF Yala S3.
It's
You know,
funny, don't get me wrong, but oh my god, this would be such a pain in the ass to use.
I can. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like, because like for example, I think of when I look at these characters, I'm like, what are the other characters and what do they try to fulfill? If
Mhm.
I just want a phalanx caster who does nothing and just never dies, I would probably pick Beeswax
Orlin.
or Lin. The point, they're both really insanely hard to kill, and you don't even need to activate a skill.
Mhm.
I guess skill 1 kind of does that, except you just get a little bit of extra damage out there, so it's fine, you know.
Mhm.
The skill 2 is I think skill 2 is probably the most interesting one because it's a good amount of CC, but you have to
Mhm.
kind of use it at the right time.
Yeah.
And it's not too OP either because fear is incredibly strong, but it's limited here because you need to
It's
actually
also
kill
only
something.
1 second. Like, it's not a long fear duration.
It is a good 1 second though. That's
Yeah.
better than nothing. And given that most bosses are vulnerable to it, that's pretty strong.
Mhm.
So I think that's pretty fine. And I think like Boop said, it's skill 3 is definitely like I understand it. It makes complete sense. I understand how I would execute it in a team.
It's just a pain.
It's a pain. Yeah, I get it, and I get the potential. Like Ox Skill 2
Mhm.
would make this insane.
Guilty's probably my favorite though, out of all the 3 here.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah.
I just see the universe where I'm like, because Ox Skill 2 gives somebody 80% bonus max HP.
Mhm.
That tied with this sounds like you're gonna have a truck hitting with every hit,
Probably.
assuming you can get the truck to go.
You have to start the truck first.
Like
Like,
it's unironically like I would definitely need to actually build a team around it, you know.
You're just like, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah, like pray everything works. I think it'll be fine. I just feel like the HP management is probably the most annoying part because you can't heal too much, you can't heal too little.
You gotta heal just right. You gotta Goldilocks.
Yeah, Lancet might unironically be just enough. Like unironically, Lancet might be the play.
We found a use for the Lancet 2 outside of IS. Alright, well, in the interest of time, let's move on to lore. In which case, because it's quite, we did increase lore section, so
Oh
we
god.
will quietly read lore, and then just let me know when you're ready to move on to the next page of lore. We have 2 slides worth of lore, it's about 700 words. So, here we go!
let's go giant text blob.
Hey, I put
My favorite.
Screw you! I put paragraphs in there.
3 giant text blobs,
Hey,
even better.
Screw you! It's 1 small one, 1 medium one, and 1 big one. All right. Screw you! I spaced it out properly.
Can someone remind me what a Nazazir is? I
Sarcat-
don't remember.
It's a sarcasm race. I can.
No. Like, what are they though supposed to be like in real life?
Not quite licks. They're the remnants, if I remember. Right.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I'll double check for you as well. But
Yeah, lore is definitely my weak point. I have a hard time at lore at this point.
understandable.
It's too much to read.
It's kind of there's a whole lot of kind of corpse consumption personification of war kind of thing going.
I feel like I'm gonna be pretty lenient on lore, but I swear to God, if I have to drop points on your lore, then you're really goofy.
That's true.
That's all I'm gonna say. If I drop points on your lore, then you fucked up. That's on you.
Yeah, you gotta keep that. You gotta keep that in mind. Again, that's why we always for those of you who aren't quite as aware with judging process, like usually it's Boop and I for consistency, and then the third judge tends to be a bit more of a wild card for people to be like, okay, maybe they're more focused on balance, or maybe they're more focused on lore, or they're just more focused on the casual side of the game. Like it's a bit of a wild card. Mixes things up a bit. Just let me know when y'all are ready to.
I'm done reading. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready. Okay, now it's the big blob of text.
Oh, Jesus
Let's
Christ.
go.
Hold on, fine, I'll give you spacing now.
No,
damn
no,
it.
no. I can read it, but
There, I gave you spacing. I split it in two.
Two, even better.
I know, Spiffly, but I put it in a block because I just copy and paste.
It was in 3 paragraphs. Damn, we could have had 3 blobs of text. Aww.
3 blocks of text on the previous one.
Yeah, but that was a small one, a medium one, and a large one.
Look, I'm staying in tune to the operator of it being a pain to do sometimes with the S3. I'm
True.
sticking to the meme. Totally didn't plan this out. This was just I'm talking out my ass. But let me know when we're ready to go to voice lines, and I'm so tempted to throw medkits under the bus for voice lines just to see what happens.
this is very long.
It is very. I mean, it's 700 words because we retweet the lore as the TLDR.
Oh, this is an old page. I was like, is this operator just a tiny little girl? What the f?
No, it's
Okay, that makes more sense now.
you gotta get to the bottom. You gotta read through the whole thing.
No, I know. That's why I got confused till I got to the end, so I'm trying to tell you.
No, it's actually just our RI's following. RI's apparently just signing you child soldiers again.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I am ready to move on if
I'm ready to, yeah.
Luke is.
I am ready as well.
All right. So like we're throwing medkits under the bus through voice lines, right?
Sure.
Hey, medkits.
Talk 2. We don't only eat bodies, Doctor. Can eat other things too, like potatoes. Popular in Casdale and taste great fresh out of the furnace. Not sweet ones though, they're gross. Like cottus. What? Trust 3. This place isn't so bad. Oh, there's a period right there, whatever. Happier than when you were Babel. Doctors never scared of their patients. Pain hasn't been this bearable in years. I'm glad we never managed to kill you. Oh shit. You're the doctor. Tell your people to relax. I'm on medical leave from military commission duties. Won't cause trouble. Won't hold back if they do. Just get me medicine and put me into battle. I'm too tired for this. Stop running and look your death in the eyes. That's battle 1. So this is the power of the doctor. No, of the ghost of Babel. I thank you for this feast, O spirit.
Well done, medkits. Well done.
Yeah, don't expect any emotion from me. I'm too tired for this.
Nah, that's what makes it funny. Alright. And for points? We're ready for points.
Yeah, I am ready for points.
Alright,
Okay.
who wants to lead us off?
I'll lead us off because char out of the fire and into the frying pan.
Go,
Wait, that's
frying
not
pan.
how it goes.
No, but go, frying pan.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with lore because I was very underwhelmed by the lore. We have archive files, which is fine. I like archive files, but we got a text dump about the operator which is basically just dumbed down to she's a big jerk. And then the second text dump was her backstory, which is like, great, cool. But what about her? And then we got her voice lines, which is also like, okay, it's not too much to work on with. So I'll give it a 1. It's just I'm very underwhelmed with the lore. For cohesion and integration, I'll give this I'll give it a 2. As much as I don't like how wild skill 3 is in the sense of it would work really weirdly in the game because of just how many interactions and small and numbers are and how the numbers work behind the scenes, I think that the talents and the skills just work really well together, right? Like the idea of having the only way to use skill 3 is to use the talent or with other operators is great. Right? I wouldn't say skill 3 fits into Arknights as a game in the sense of the duration increasing per se. I don't know how that would work in terms of the mechanical coding. I'm not sure if the Arknights engine could currently handle that. I mean, I don't know how strong the Arknights engine is, but it feels like at the current moment that's not possible.
For balance, I'll give it a 1.5, simply because I don't know how powerful this operator would be. Skill 1, they can just tank, which is fine. Skill 2 has crowd control, which is fine. And then it's a new crowd control thing that I haven't experienced yet, so I can't say much about it, but I've heard from you two that it is very strong. And then skill 3 could be anywhere from really powerful to really weak, so I wouldn't really know how powerful this operator really is and what it really has going for them. But it definitely seems very usable, like 99% of all the other operators in the game. As for the kit, I'll give kit 2 as well. It does feel very it's fresh. It's nice. I really like how both the talents and the skills interact with each other. I feel like what do you call it? It's not taking a step outside the box, but rather it's taking stuff that we already have in the game, having them interact in a different way with each other, right? Because we already have HP loss on archetypes. We already have SP generation in SP bonus generation. We already have barrier, right? And instead of just adding those things on to a phalanx caster, you simply made them interact with one another.
Alright, so it looks like we got a 6.5 out of 2. Alright. Nedkins, would you like to go next, or would you like me to go next?
I can go next. I'll start with Laura as well then. I got the idea that this was a character that kind of feasted literally in the battle of some sorts, whether it be spiritual or flesh. I didn't really see that in the lore. I just saw tiny Sarkash child and some voice lines suggesting something about like feasting in the battle. So other than that, it just felt like basic Sarkaz who hates Victorians and other Sarkaz. I think if Spipley had leaned into the whole maybe like a bit more carnivorous side of aspect, or carnivorous like aspect of their lore, maybe it would have been a bit better in terms of like giving them a bit more fleshed out character. Because right now it just sounds like I am a Sarkaz who hates other Sarkaz and Victorians, which is not exactly too original in that sense of the world. I picked up that the character doesn't really speak properly. They're kind of like staggering with their speech, which is, I guess, part of the character, but it doesn't really do anything here. It's just kind of there. So, at the same time, bare minimum, you know, it makes sense. You understand the character, kind of wider. They are what they are because of the Nazar, whatever, I can't pronounce it, the zombie ghoul aspect. So I'm like, you know what, at the very least, that makes sense. I didn't read anything that made me go, this is illogical. This wouldn't ever make sense in the world of Arknights lore. So I would give it the 1.5, the baseline. I think it's just passing, nothing too crazy, nothing too interesting. I think if you had leaned more into the more like dangerous feast and battle aspect, sure, I think it'd be a bit more interesting. But right now it's pretty bland, to be honest. But in terms of the kit, the technical stuff, I feel like personally, actually I'll start with balance because that was what came to mind. This doesn't have to be a 6-star operator, if I'm being honest. I think the only reason why it's a 6-star operator is because Spipley really wanted to make skill 3 work and needed a SP gen to make it work. I personally think I would have liked the operator more if it was a 5-star and had 1-2 the way it was, and then just talent 1. It would have been a slightly different look at a tanky caster, kind of like the Beeswax, who has good self HP heal, summons a 3-star block, not 3 block pillar, decent DPS, but it's kind of like the opposite of that, where it's all about self preservation, decent like fighting back potential though, at the cost of your balancing between like barrier and fighting. So that one felt better. Skill 3 feels, it makes sense because I get it. It's supposed to be feasting on them and kind of works, I suppose, but it just feels like it's you go from skill 1 and 2, which is like, yeah, I can see how it makes sense. You just time it correctly and you do fine. Skill 3 feels like I need to have so many specific operators, so many specific like setups, and just not overly fun to use.
Mhm.
I do think this operator wouldn't work skill 3 if skill talent 2 wasn't thing. That's why I feel like I would have liked it more as a 5-star and without skill 3 and talent 2 personally.
Mhm.
Just embrace that. So for balance, I would just give it maybe a 1.5 because everything is actually no, I'll give it a 1.75 because everything is just fine. I just don't like the skill 3 and the talent 2 personally. It just feels like too much.
1 decimal point, so do you want 0.7 or 0.8?
0.8.
Okay.
At the very least, the kit, I like the kit overall.
Mhm.
It's interesting, this aspect of barrier kind of going up and down, because I think there's not too many barriers in the game, and Penance is the only one that comes to mind where it's like the fighting and getting barrier back. Oh, and then Luta Nada as well, I
Mhm.
believe. So I do like it from a Phalanx caster. It kind of works, because when you think Phalanx caster, you do think barrier when it comes to Phalanx caster, so it's kind of nice to get a double barrier idea.
Mhm.
So I'll give that one actually a 2.8. I like it a lot.
Oh,
I think it's
wow.
cool.
Okay.
No, because like I said, the kit technically is pretty bland, but it
Mhm.
fits.
Mhm.
It's very cohesive, so it kind of ties into that thing. Skills 1 and 2, talent 1, I love them. I think they're good. They're very appropriate for the class. Doesn't ever I didn't feel weird about it. And I've said it again. I just don't like the skill 3 and talent 2 because I feel like they're so different.
Mhm.
They make sense character-wise, if that makes they're supposed to be like kind of like the feasting, but it's just too much. And I'd probably give cohesion and integration like a 2.1 around there. It just feels. I feel like if skill 3 wasn't so micromanagey and team dependent, I'd be a bit happier with it.
Medkits is very happy with some aspects of this operator. Alright, my turn. Let's see. I'll start with the lore as well. I think the lore, again, I think the lore hit baselines for me. I don't think it particularly went beyond. The voice line gave me a couple laughs, but outside of that, like, I don't think it particularly, like, wowed me. I think it's baseline, maybe a bit above. Like, I'll give it a little more because the voice lines made me giggle. So I'll give it like a 1.7 for lore. As for the kit, I think the kit itself with what you're trying to do is really interesting. With like adjusting, with like, working with the HP, right? And then, trying to juggle the HP and then doing barriers, right? I think that is a really interesting concept. I will continue to say the S3 just feels like an absolute pain to try to make work. But for the kit as a whole, I do quite like the kit. I think it's pretty fresh. It's definitely a different take on Phalanx caster, which at the same time, given Spipley, is not surprising, being the resident Phalanx caster apologist. So I'll give it a 2 for kit. As for balance, talent 1 and 2 feel fine. Or sorry, talent 1 and then skill 1 and skill 2 are fine. Talent 2 is I think the concept for talent 2 is pretty nifty. I think it gets a little wonky to try to make work, to try to hit that threshold, right? To juggle it. So to me, talent 2 is on the weaker side because of how relatively harder it is to juggle. Skill 3, similar situations. It's like similar situation for the skill 3, where it's like it can be really good, but it's just really hard to juggle. So it's like you can't really give it like it's really strong or it's really, because it's in such extremes where like you have to play around it in order to make it work, right? But at that point, it's like, okay, well, if you're making all your ops work around an operator skill, then it, you'd expect it to be strong if you're investing so much power into a skill, right? It's like, old school days of Sir Buff Army. Oh man, the S3 is going crazy. It's like, yeah, I hope the S3 is going crazy because we're dumping so much into it, right? Or even other operators like Exia S3. It's like, oh yeah, you're dumping all these buffs in Exia S3. It's doing so much damage. Like, yeah, I'd hope so, right? So it's a little bit hard to adjust balance expectations around that. But, I think that aside, I would give balance probably like a 1.8. Because it's really only like a couple things that I'm like, but again, it fits baselines. As for cohesion and integration, I think this all, like, you had a very clear vision of what you're trying to go for, and I think that actually all fits together pretty well. You know, notwithstanding how wonky this operator would be to use in, on a map. So, for cohesion, I will give cohesion a 2 as well, because I do quite like the cohesion. So this score is a 7.5 from me, so let me do the total right quick, and then we will move on to our next operator.
That reminds me, now that we have a moment of downtime.
Yes.
What type of elemental damage does Nymph do?
Necrosis.
Oh, so Warby is still useless! Gee, no! Not like this!
Sorry. I didn't.
No!
I didn't want you to have to find out like this. I didn't want you to have to find out like this, Boop.
No!
I mean, she's a sarcasm. Like, to be fair, she's probably not going to use fire things. Like,
No!
to be fair, it's like, alright, it's not.
Warby, no!
To be fair. Alright.
Warby, no! Hold on, I need to go to Fugi and change everything to Crying Palace.
You weren't already crying Palace? Alright, anywho.
I have Headpat Palace in there.
Not like Nippy Brutal make Warby good day? Alright, so we have Operator Shylock by Robosu. This is a 6-star Pioneer Vanguard. Honestly, don't see a lot of that these days. Who was our last Pioneer Vanguard?
I have to remind myself what a pioneer is at this point.
Texas.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how often do you see those?
We have not seen a Pioneer in a hot minute.
As a flame tail user, I'm kind of curious to see what this operator is like.
Aegir from Higashi. Oh my god,
Wait,
you remember
what?
Higashi? You remember Higashi?
Higashi!
Higashi.
Let's go!
You remember
Wait,
Higashi
Higashi.
more than HG does. I applaud that.
Higashi, but they're showing up in Aegir. Whoa.
No, the
or
race is
maybe-
Aegir.
Other way around, sorry, other way around, but yeah.
I mean, Akafuyu's from Higashi, and she's crab. So,
Oh wait, it's a guy! We have a male 6-star Vanguard, let's go!
one step at a time.
Well, we have why do
One
we have other
step
male
at a
vanguards?
time. So our
We have a
stats-
second one, I forgot about Vigil.
Yeah, I was gonna say Vigil.
Vigil. It's okay. It's Vigil. He's used to be forgotten. Sorry, Gobo.
Stats, yeah, look fine. This is pretty standard. A little bit off Flametail's numbers, but
Your comparison is basically Flametail here, so.
I'm using Flametail, yeah. Yeah, this is fine. This is pretty.
Your other pioneers, what, Siege?
Siege
Saga.
and
Oh,
Saga.
Damn, I
Yeah.
forgot the Hungry
Everyone has forgotten about Saga because Saga's like meme tier at this point because Siege is bad. Flametail is like great because of dodge.
Alright, so nothing too out of the ordinary here. Let's go to talents and potentials. We don't quite have talent names here, so we gotta go with what we got.
That's fine. I don't think name matters
Well,
too
that's
much.
a pretty interesting way of going about it. Recovers 1
Oh.
SP when 3 DP is consumed in battle. Gains 1% attack and 3 ASPD for every 3 DP consumed in battle. Stacks up to 12% and 36 ASPD.
This sounds like a merchant,
It does sound like a merchant.
but
It's
I'm okay with
reverse
it.
merchant.
I'm okay with
I'm
this
kind of
actually.
okay with it because you're generating DP to burn it. So like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay with it. Like it's not.
Okay, I think I want to see the skills actually.
Yeah.
I need to see the skills for this one.
It's like it's one of those tweener skills where it's like it can both work for merchant, but at the same time like no, I can see this
If
working for a
anything,
pioneer.
this sounds like the Vanguard you want to pair with the merchant more
Yeah.
than anything else.
But again, like it's like you see the talent and you go, oh, I think merchant. But at the same time, when you go, oh, pioneer, and you think about what pioneers do. Yes, I know it's been a while since we had a pioneer, but you think about when you use a pioneer, you're like, wait, that can kind of work. It works out. So I'm not against it.
This kind of reminds me of Pancyrus to a degree, where like
You just want to leave them on the field.
you want to leave them
Yeah.
correct, or like Flametail even, where like you're okay with leaving them because they have just enough utility or damage to like
Yeah.
kind of warrant it, and they do their job just well enough.
So it's like I'm pretty okay with
Yeah,
that,
I
actually.
mean, yeah. Look at the module. Gets 1 SP and 3% of max reach whenever 3 DP is consumed, so it's a constant heal. That 3% might be a bit much, but
Yeah, but
I don't think it's too much per se, because 3% is like, how much max HP do they have?
roughly 2200, I think.
That's what?
going to 170, so they're covering like 80-ish, 70-ish, 70, 80.
80 every second, because if you have a merchant, that's 8 every second.
Yeah.
You, it's not. I mean, it's not every second. It's because the thing is, merchants consume 3 DP every 3 seconds. Plus, you have to remember if the merchants have their modules.
Well,
Consume less.
That
if
it's-
you have multiple module or multiple merchants,
I mean, of course, if you have multiple merchants, but I will say, for comparison, Helliger Talent 2 is 60 HP per second when not blocking an enemy.
and then it goes to 80 when it's moduled.
Yeah.
And just deploy operators.
So it's a Hellauger whenever DP is consumed.
I will
But
say
that's fine then, I guess, yeah.
I will say, by the way, it's for every 3 DP consumed. I'm assuming if you drop like a 30 DP operator, all of a sudden you get 10 stacks. That's the
Wait,
way I'm
hold up.
Which is
interpreting this.
fine.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Swire Altar would go hard. You would just...
Let's go, Swire Altar!
You would
We
intentionally
have a
kill your
use.
Swire
We have
Altar.
we have a use for Swire. Let's go.
I'm going to interpret Talent 1 as it's one instance whenever 3 DP is consumed.
I'm reading it as if they ate 30 DP, that's 10 SP they're getting back.
Alright.
Yeah,
If that's what we
I'm
agree on, let's
assuming
go with
that's
that.
how it is.
That makes
I'm
the
ass-
most sense.
Alright.
Otherwise, this would be awful.
Alright, let's go with that.
Yeah, it's like why would this ever be used?
Yeah, this would be awful if you didn't get multiple, but at the same time, I'm glad they put a cap on Talent 2, otherwise, holy shit, this would be
Yeah,
incredibly
You drop-
busted.
You freaking drop 2 Juggernauts, and all of a sudden your Pioneer is just like backhanding
Yeah,
people out of the
like,
way.
just...
I
let's
will
move on to the
say-
skills, yeah.
I will say 12% attack and 36 ASPD is not insignificant, but it's not significant
I think
either.
it's good.
You
I
know?
think it's a good balance point. I
It's
think
good for
a
Vanguard.
really good
This is
balance point.
ideal Vanguard buff.
This is a really
Yeah.
good balance point to me. It's remember, chat. I don't want to have to keep tapping the sign of talents are not a 3rd and 4th skill slot. Or
think
sorry,
this is
not
a-
a
I know,
fifth-
right?
Not a
Th-
4th
This is
and 5th
very
skill
this is
slot.
very appropriate
Yeah,
for the
this is
class. I'm okay
very
with that.
appropriate. I genuinely like the balance level of this talent 1 and 2. Whether or not I'll stay with the skills, we'll find out.
But I kind of want to see the skills,
Yeah.
yeah, to see how this plays.
How
out.
does this play out? We don't have names for the skills, so we're gonna have to go skill 1, 2, and 3. But 10 DP. Next operator has DP cost. Oh, okay. So the next operator is more expensive, but they have
You
more
get-
attack and defense.
You're playing IS now.
Yeah, you're playing IS now.
Oh,
Um,
I like the skill. I like it because it's, even though it's an auto trigger skill, because it's every 28 seconds, you can try to space out your operators and calculate it so that they all get the 6% and 10% buff, right? Because those aren't insignificant, but they're also not like game changing either, you know?
you would not feel bad timing your operator, or at least your very core operator for this. It's quite good.
It's
I like
28
it.
SP cost too, so it's like
Yeah,
it's.
it's not.
I will say
I
my
will
biggest
say-
gripe is the initial SP being 6. It's like
I kind of get it though. I kind of get
I
it.
get it. I get the intention behind it, but it's like your pioneers aren't a bad source
Okay,
of DP.
or-
yes.
For reference, Siege S1 at M3, because I have it M3, 20 initial SP, 35 SP cost, gain 12 DP. So I feel like it's slightly less DP generation, but on average, if you like make it for, let's say, 10 minutes, it's probably like more or less on par,
Although
right?
at the same time, for a pioneer, they're on the field to fight as well, so it's like I'm kind of okay with that. I will say
Yeah.
that 6% attack and 10% defense is not that much. That is.
Yeah, you can go a little higher.
You could probably go like. You could probably go up to like 50 and 50, and I'd probably be okay with it. I would say.
I would actually probably maybe just do like a flat number at that point, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, it's like. You're
The
just
flat
gonna get more
number-
value with bigger
yeah.
number operators.
Yeah, the flat number at least makes it so that it's kind of good no matter what.
Yeah.
And you're not so screwed over by not putting it on like a big wall,
I
like a
like-
mud rock or something like that.
I like the concept. I don't necessarily like the buff itself.
Another question would it be, is it like a Rosmanis talent or an Aopiala talent where just like, oh, if the operator leaves, does the buff go away?
The effect I mean, it's literally the effect lasts until the operator's
Yeah,
defeated or
it's-
retreated.
Oh, there it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I
I'm,
think
I'm
if
dumb.
this
I'm
rank
sorry.
leaves, they
I
still
can't
keep the
read.
buff.
Everyone laugh at Boop for
Yeah.
being EN. Laugh at
I'm
this
pretty
man, he's EN.
sure. Yeah, because it's not like Exu, where if Exu leaves, you lose it. But in this case, they will keep it, so it's fine.
I would say again, I like the concept. I think you had a lot more. I think I don't know if Robasu is here, but if you watch the VOD Robasu, I would say you had a lot more room to buff up the numbers a bit.
But honestly, I like it still. I don't care if the numbers are too minimal. It's like it's great for the people who just kind of want to have their favorite opera get a little bit more oomph in their act, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, it's like again, that's really my big quibble just on the balance side of things. Again, concept, I like it. I like the concept.
It's a skill too, though.
Skill 2, so more DP. It's an unlimited skill, so just once you but once you get it, you get 13 DP, and then
Oh, it's Ponsiris, the yellow text. And then,
every attack, so you have damage boost, and then if you burn 30 DP, you double the effective talent 2 for 8 seconds.
that's the attack speed, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so you can get
Okay,
24
24
and
and
70.
72.
But it's for 8
Jesus.
seconds. But it's for 8 seconds.
That's still good though. Yeah,
get-
that's fine.
You can hype. I mean, as far as I can tell, you could just stack. You could just. Well, not. Actually, I'm going to. How do we want to interpret this? Do we want to say if you burn 30 and then you burn 30 again, does it stack it or does it refresh? Because it doesn't. This doesn't.
I would
specify.
say
I would say.
refresh.
It
Yeah.
refreshes, yeah.
So the best
I
way
would-
to
because
use
it's-
it would be to wait till it expires and then drop it again. Maybe.
Because it would be like old BP and Thorn's talent, where just they don't stack, it just refreshes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is fine, honestly. I like it. That was
Pretty
fine.
nifty.
Pretty nifty, yeah.
Basically, it encourages you to keep finding ways to use DP. I mean, this would probably go pretty well with burning, with using fast redeploys too, because you're kind of dropping the ball over the map.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
no,
it's-
not
makes
Texas
sense.
Alter and Yato Alter meta. No, we
No,
just
it's okay.
left it.
No, it's okay. Just
No!
use Kafka. No, just use Kafka.
No!
Just use Kafka.
No, no,
I'm okay
not
with
like
this, I think.
this.
I'm okay with this. Like, it's enough damage
Fine.
to clear through Chaff and maybe some weaker elites, but you're not soloing Patriot with this.
The only thing I don't get is why it's manual activation. There's no universe where you don't turn it on.
Yeah, I would say you just want auto activation.
It's like the
here.
only one where I'm
Yeah,
like, why is
it's
this
a little
manual?
bit of
It's
a-
kind of weird.
But it's like, I'm not gonna
It
quibble
punishes
over.
you for not paying attention.
Ah, fair enough.
I guess. At least Ponsiris makes sense. You gotta do it twice and then you get it. But this one's just kind of like, it happens once and you're done.
I'm not gonna quibble too hard over it, but like,
Yeah, I'm just kind
a
of
little
curious.
bit
But,
like,
Alright, skill 3.
next attack deals. So it's a
What's
big hit.
this the box
Allies
in front of
with
it, right?
Wow.
One time.
Oh, it's a buff.
And stack. And each stack has its. Okay, duration. I was gonna say, if you don't have a duration on that, you're insane. Wait, hold up. SP cost is 8, but the initial 16, so that means there's multiple charges, I'm assuming.
Let me double check what I have here, but I believe that is how it's written. Yep, that is how it's written. So I'm a little
I
lost
will
on
give-
that.
I
Wait, it's
will
also-
give benefit of the doubt and say max 2 charges then. Because if we look at
Yeah.
Arturia S1, I believe she has all 3 charges at M3. Yeah, she has all 3 charges at S1 M3.
All right.
So I'm going to give benefit of the doubt and say max 2 charges.
I will agree then. I'm like, I don't see anything indicating charge, but given the way it's written, I'm like, all right, I'll allow it.
It's kind of interesting because it's auto trigger as well, so you actually don't have too much agency unless you have something like a stainless.
Mhm.
Because they need to melee something. to trigger this, so you need a stainless to make it somewhat reliable.
Mhm.
Especially when you put on a ranged operator. That means the ranged operator has to be on a tile that can be next
mean-
to this Vanguard specifically to make it
Mhm.
work.
I mean, it's also kind of like Siege S2, where she'll just burn all 3 of her charges on
Yeah,
an enemy the
exactly.
moment it comes into range, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think this is fine, honestly, with that kind of lock on it, where like you can't just spam it, you need to actually hit something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I think it'll be okay.
This ultimately feels like the kind of Vanguard that loves it when you don't ever hit 99 DP.
I will say, 280% is too low of a number for a skill 3.
Mhm.
If it was like 350%, maybe even 400%, I'd be okay with
Give
it.
a little more attack to it, especially given that
Yeah.
it's skill 3. Yeah, maybe.
I'm on the opposite of the fence. I feel like this because they're leaning more towards like the I'm here to buff somebody else rather than myself.
Mhm.
But
Because if you
but
look at every single skill, they're trying to buff somebody else, except for skill 2 actually. Now I think about it, but
the thing is, the buff is not that high.
I'm okay with that, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I don't think everyone needs to
guess.
have like crazy numbers or like needs to do anything crazy. I think at the end of the day, it's the fact that it's happening. The way I see it, at least, is it's for me. It's adequate. I like the idea, but I
The
do
idea is
agree.
adequate, but I'm talking more of the balance side because you also have to remember there are limited number of deployment slots, and then we're talking melee tile slots as well. Like, do you really want this operator to be in melee with an opponent giving like this tiny buff to someone else rather than just having, like a guard or a defender operator in that slot?
No. I get your number argument. I'm just saying, like, I think that's. I'm personally okay with the low numbers because I'm used to that sort of thing. But
Mhm. Also understandable.
that's why I mentioned the stainless actually, because if you have the stainless skill 3, you can definitely just abuse it.
Mhm. Alright, let's keep moving though. Medkits, you'll be happy to know that the lore is very short.
Oh hell yeah, bonus points.
Everyone laugh at Medkits real quick. But, alright, let me know when we're ready to go to voice lines.
Yes.
Alright.
Wait, I wasn't done.
Oh,
Wait,
Son
go
of a
back to that lore. Wait, Yakuza, hold up.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was like, wait, hold up. We have Yakuza now. Okay, that's okay. I got it.
Okay.
so. But who's doing this one?
Just go around the circle.
Alright. I guess I'll do it. You recognize that code name? I barely understand the play, but one thing is for sure, that guy was really sad. Pick it up to remind me to not end like him. Like I'm trusting Grease too is, back at Higashi, I thought I was being upheld. If you get the money you need, come successful and pay back. If you can't, then you're lazy and deserve a beating. Little did I know, brother. No, we're not doing frickin' no. Majima is not here. The Majima Everywhere system does not apply to the OC contest, you fools. You know, brother, I'm not sure how much I can give you for pawning this medal. Gift. Potion. Don't worry, brother, they're running now, but those people always come back once they lack money. Next time the interest will crush them, I can guarantee. My god, it really is a Yakuza member. Brother, about that money you owe me. Alright. Ready to go to points?
Yes.
Right. Who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Go for it.
I'm gonna start with the kit. I really like the kit. It's a new twist on Pioneers,
Mhm.
which have been kind of in a dry spot recently. I would 100% use this if it was in the game. I love this operator. It's great. I'll give it a 2.5
Alright.
for kit.
Mhm.
For balance, I think the power of the operator is underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I think it definitely could use just an all-around numbers buff, so I'll give it a 1.4.
Mm-hmm.
For cohesion and integration, I think it works. I think they do work well together. And I do think it also fits into Arknights in a game. We all have it's kind of similar to instructor guards and other guards like Irescarp, where they just have like these tiny buffs that they give to other operators. So I'll give that 1.5. And for the lore, I'll just give it a 1.5 as well.
Alright.
It's a very small amount of lore that I can't really say anything about.
Alright. So 6.9 from Boot. Nice. Alright. Medkits, you want to go next or you want me to go next?
I'll go next. We'll just follow the same order. I agree. Lore's pretty. Can't complain. There's not much to work with. It just feels like a Yakuza character. 1.5. I can't really complain about it. There's not much to work with, but it's also like it does the job, right? Always asking about money, and in this case, DP is our money, so it works. And it's also not like nonsensical. I can understand what's going on. The kit is definitely really nice. I think the only one I didn't like was skill 2, because I felt like I kind of kept wanting to see that DP mechanic where the more you consume, the more you get something out of it. If I remember correctly, I think skill 2 doesn't do that. I might remember it wrong. Skill 2 just feels like Pancyrus part 2. But other than that, the kit was pretty good. I liked it overall. It's very interesting. I like the whole idea of just working with DP consumption, which because you usually you end up with too much DP, and having a mechanic built all around consumption of DP is really interesting. So I'll give it a 2.8. Overall, amazing. I liked it a lot. I'm on the other side where I'm okay with operators being weak, for that sense of the word. I do see the number argument, and honestly, I kind of agree with some parts of it, maybe like the talent especially. But other than that, honestly, I think it's fine. I mean, at most, the numbers definitely could do a little bit of a buff, because it feels like you're gonna have to either sacrifice your Vanguard and put him in the front line and pray to God they don't get nuked, or bring a Stainless, which shouldn't be a metric for how viable a character is used. So maybe like a 2.5 for the balance, like 2.4 for the balance. But the cohesion is great. I think it works. We have so many classes, mainly the merchant in this case, who love just consuming DP. We also have high DP operators in case you need that big move, drop a mud rock or something like that. It's kind of nice. I kind of like it. How viable it would be, no clue. I'd have to try running it a few times, but overall I think it works fine. I'll give it also another like 2 points. I'll say 6. I think it's interesting. I just want to see more with that DP consumption, ideally, instead of just raw like give buff. I think they were on the right track with like the skill 1, if I'm being honest. I like that a lot more. The idea of you get DP, you use it, and you give a buff to another character. That was really cool to me. So
Alright. So for me, I'll start with the lore because I think the lore is the weakest. There's a lot of room to do lore, and we just do not have a whole lot to work with. So I will give lore a 1 because I feel that I just don't really have that much lore to work with here. So I can't really give that much for something that I don't have much to work with. As for the kit, I think the kit itself is fresh and interesting. I think it's a really cool concept you thought up. So I will give like a 2.3 for that. I think it's a really cool concept. As for the balance itself, I think this operator's on the more underpowered side with the numbers, especially because, it does seem like you kind of want to leave them on the field a little more. So the numbers are a little more underwhelming. So it's like, but as a whole, though, I think this is I think it's a little underbalanced, but it's fine, right? So I'll give balance go 1.9. And then finally for the kit itself, or sorry, not for the kit itself, for the cohesion, this is pretty focused around a central concept of Vanguards make DP, so let's buff them for you using that DP. So I think that's a really cool concept for the most part. But like my fellow judges have said, there's a couple of skills here where it's like, okay, there's things that you would like to see a little more of, like, use the DP for more buffs. Like there's a little bit, it kind of drops a little bit, but it's not a biggie, right? So I'll give it like a 1.8 on that, so it comes out to a 7 from me overall. One medkits was like, oh man, I'm gonna I'm gonna judge people, and then it's like, ah, no, it's fine. All right, so that's 23.2 overall.
Why am I the harshest?
When are you not the harshest?
I thought I was being scoring pretty well.
What, yeah,
It's
what?
okay. It's okay. Calculated 69.
That's fair enough. So let's see this one here. Okay, so that bit of a score change early on does mean we will have a new winner this time. Okay,
Leading by a whole 1 point.
I know, right? If there's one thing we've proven, medkits is definitely the wild card here. Anything could happen. Could even be another medkits in there.
Rocks fall. Everyone dies, I guess.
Anonymous,
I don't know.
what the hell?
Yep. Hey, don't look at Boulder, not me.
Anon. No.
No way, you dropped an Anon.
Ain't no way, Anon.
Ritualist.
Look at Boulder, not me.
Ritualist. Okay, this is gonna be busted. 0 points.
Our comparison is Virtuosa.
I literally have only used Virtuosa twice, so I'm the worst person for balance on this one.
Everyone side-eye medkits. Everyone side-eye him. Side-eye him.
I don't have her, man.
Side-eye this man's.
I guess
Oh,
I'll just look
jellyfish,
up
though.
Virtuosa.
Immortal Jelly. We have an Immortal Jelly.
Well, now we have a second one.
Nice. They can be Immortal Jelly together
No,
and
Valarkman.
completely forget their past every time.
Boulder, the Valarkman thing would make sense if this was a 5-star. However, this is a 6-star. Therefore, we must compare things accurately.
Also, Valarquin just doesn't work without S2 outside of IS4.
Also fair. Alright. How do the stats look?
I looked up Virtuosa.
Kind of normal.
Kind of normal. Alright.
That's actually
Kinda
slightly higher
normal.
stats, actually.
More attack, less HP.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Moving along then.
I'm under the impression the parentheses are already included.
Yes, that means, or that's what it would be if it was included.
Oh, okay, then yeah, it's average.
Or,
the
you know,
attack
if
is
it-
definitely
yeah.
higher. Attack is definitely higher, I think.
Attack is higher, yes. Level 90 P6 is 548 attack and 1501 HP for Virtuosa.
Well, it's like a bit higher.
Yeah, just a bit higher.
Alright.
It's not too bad.
Talent. Okay, by the way, the elemental damage is a new type of elemental damage. A
Oh,
custom
God.
type of elemental damage. So have fun. We're gonna have fun figuring that out.
Cognito Hazard.
Why does that sound like neural? Never mind, it's not neural.
Is this just the Tor browser as like an operator?
I have no idea. It's a more of a defensive use of the elemental application. At least looking at talent 1. So it's enemies who attack allied ops in this unit's range. They take 10% as Cognito Hazard damage. So it's a little bit different from like, oh, when you attack someone, you do this.
I will say, looking at Talentude, ASPD minus 100 doesn't work in the Arknights engine. I think minimum is 20 ASPD. Like
What?
they physically can't go below the limit of 20 ASPD.
Oh, just like hard coded, not go below that.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that random minus 12 taunt?
I don't know. That is what is written.
I'm assuming minus 12 taunt is just to be like, hey, this unit will
Not
never
hit.
be targeted
Oh, never mind.
if
Never mind.
an
Hold on.
enemy
It's
range.
minus one.
Oh, it's minus 1?
Oh.
Okay,
I don't know where
okay.
the 2 came from, I'm gonna be honest. I might have accidentally hit a
Okay.
2 in the
You-
process.
Yeah.
Sorry, Boulder.
The 2 is right next to 1 on the keyboard.
I may have accidentally hit both of them at the same time. There is a non-zero chance that I've done that.
Imagine it was minus 21.
Either way, it lowers your taunt value. So, like, for all
Yeah,
intents and
it's-
purposes, you're not getting
Yeah.
hit. Is the point of it.
Wait, so just so I'm on the same page, because I don't use elemental too much. If it says 500 elemental damage a second, is that actual damage or just elemental damage, like to the debuff again?
It's elemental damage in terms of whatchamacallit. It's damage that they're taking while under the effect, if I remember it right.
Okay, I see.
Because like you have the little circle bar, right? So it goes, once it pops, and then while it's while it's making its way back, they're taking damage.
I see.
10,000 damage is not insignificant. So that's a lot of damage,
It's
but it
effectively
does not
true.
seem like it could be. What do you call it? What's the word? I forgot.
It takes longer to proc.
Yeah.
It's like Scotty said, 1.5 times the damage to proc. So that's the logic. But that's also a pretty long silence. Granted, silence is like a 50-50 these days with what it affects and what it doesn't affect, but
I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's like silence doesn't really work that much.
it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Like,
It's basically if Hypergriff says, "Hey, we want this to work, therefore you can't silence it."
mhm.
Yeah. I think
Right.
we
That's basically what
last-
it is.
I will also say it, at least off just the raw talents, it's like it will take a decent amount of time to charge, given that they're only getting proc when they attack friendly units. So
I mean, yeah. Bring any taunt defender and you've basically got to go. And
Time to bring back CC2 Liskarm strats.
My
Let's
God.
go.
mhm. Let's see. So here we have a summon. We'll probably
wait,
find
what?
out. We'll look at the summon. The summon will apply into skills, I believe. So here's just things. We'll probably revisit this as we.
This is a supporter, right? Just for clear.
Yes, this is a support.
Okay.
I imagine it's the skill will plop a summon on the field.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Not attack. Okay.
Speaking of skills,
Wait,
we
hold on.
are.
Go back real quick. Let me see the last part of that summon.
that's okay. We'll go
Not
back and
under different
we'll go
text.
back
Okay,
if we need to.
sounds good. Okay, sounds good.
Here's our skills. We have auto activation.
Oh, that's a fast cycle.
I believe we have another virtuosa moment of yeah, we can start with 3 charges, so you start with 2 charges.
Okay. I don't know if that's a lot towards the elemental burst, to be honest with you, but
2 attack, 80% attack as cognito hazard damage, so I mean that's just math at that point of what is that? You have the attack times 2.5 and then multiply that by 0.8 or just math it.
right. But from what I understand, this is also very expensive elemental that burst. So
7 SP cost.
and then summons the little summon
Yup.
if you kill or if you activate the
Activate it.
burst. Oh.
So you summon one of these little things. So basically you're just holding them in place.
Yeah, it's
But you can only attack or block enemies under that effect. So you basically have about 20 seconds. Oh, never mind. You can
no, it increases.
yeah, it increases for every time you attack this by 1 second. So you cannot extend it infinitely because your attack interval is shorter.
It also goes away after 10 seconds
Yeah.
either way, so
So you can't keep it sustained. Okay.
okay. That's fine, I guess.
I can get the concept. I get the concept.
I just hope this doesn't turn to like no, actually that'd be fine. It's not like a one situation where like you need to have somebody else, otherwise you
Yeah.
never have
Yeah, it's fine.
You have ways.
Yes.
You have ways.
You have ways, yeah. Redirected.
Okay, so this is. Oh, so you're basically giving your thickest operator taunt. Your
20
thickest melee
res and 50 D.
That is
That's
thick.
pretty. That's thick.
thick.
And you give him taunt. Holy
Extra
shit.
thick. And your talent 1 effect is increased by 2.5. Super. And
That's
then
all
talent 2
enemies
times full
block.
effect activate is 5. So enemies need to be in range for less time to take more damage. And then you are attacking all enemies buffed by block unit and deal 10% of attack result damage every attack. Does not
Oh.
give you yourself an attack buff though. So
Okay.
basically,
Emperor's Blade still be winning. Yeah, let's go.
So you have someone who is extra thick. It's on a 20-second skill duration, 28 SP costs. That cycles pretty quickly, actually. That's a pretty quick SP cycle. Considering how thick you're making an operator.
Yeah.
That is right thick. You can see some ridiculous situations given what you can do. Like, you can make your Nyan borderline immortal.
That 20 res is doing all the work.
The 20, yeah.
Or not 50 defense
I
is
mean,
good too, but like
50% defense on
yeah,
it.
but then 20 res just basically means you don't actually need to bring Nightingale.
True. Or you bring Nightingale and they super don't die.
Oh yeah, you can super do it. Yeah, either way. The point is that's crazy.
That's
like,
a pretty big buff. 50% defense. I'm like, I've seen my Nyan hit like 22k plus.
Bubble
defense.
gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
with
it's not
this
about a
shit.
bubble, right? You can, you have, I mean, hell, cement.
Oh yeah.
Don't you hit like 5k? I mean, granted, how often are you really using cement? But you can do some funny things.
Sure.
But it's like, the fact of the matter is, it is quite thick.
And attacks all enemies buffs, so that becomes multi-attack.
Quite thick, and you're basically trying to
Go
proc
back
Cognito on it.
real quick. Can I see the talents again? Sorry.
Yeah, here you go. It's proc and Cognito.
Yeah, and then talent one is 2.5, so that's also stacking even harder.
Mhm.
So that's 25%, I think, right?
Mhm.
Give or take. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not very comfortable with the whole like elemental damage because I don't use it enough, but I have an idea of what's going on now.
But yeah, it's
Okay.
The-
What's skill 3?
the thickness is like a little bit, but otherwise, like, okay, I get the concept.
This feels like what's her name? Valenda or Vendala, the medic. What's her name?
Vanilla. Oh,
Vandella.
Vanilla. Yeah.
Vendella. Yeah, it feels like Vendella to a degree. It's just, you just really put all your eggs into that one operating
All
set,
right, go.
please. Yeah, go. Okay,
Go
let
do
me
all
read
the
the skill
work.
3.
Skill 3 we have.
Oh, that's a long skill 3.
Decently long, but not the craziest.
54 SP cost. That's a weird SP cost. Not that it's not the first
That's
time we've
M3.
seen such a thing.
Yeah, it's M3. You're gonna see some wonky SP costs at times with M3s. So you attack faster, you have thicker range, more attack, and then okay, so that's how you're proccing more. You're proccing more elemental damage. I'm sorry, you're attacking all unblocked enemies.
That's. Wait, hold up.
I'm assuming there's no limit, so if you have like 30 enemies in there, granted, I don't know what situation you're gonna have 30 enemies, but hypothetically, that's
So. In a
I
miracle
mean,
case,
it's just
yeah.
kind of like a Phalanx caster at that point, where you're just attacking all enemies with
Yeah, this is
Phalanx.
range.
actually a phalanx caster.
Stop
This is
me- God
unironically.
damn it, Spipley!
This is just a phalanx caster that summons mini beeswax pillars.
God damn it, Spipley!
Like unironically. The
We get a
crazy
collective
thing
goddamn
is,
it,
this
Spipley.
is 30 seconds, so 15 seconds real time, and the memories will last longer. So you basically are summoning just a ton of what's her name, like the dusk, like little
Relings?
dragons.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's how I love you.
Yeah, you're basically summoning little mini dusk dragons all over the place, huh?
Kinda. But it's only when it's only when you proc first though. It's not on.
That's the part though. It only summons first, and now the part is I don't
And the-
actually know how constantly they will activate
well,
this
the
Cognito
first,
Hazard.
It-
basically the
It's
first like 20 seconds.
180%
So
attack.
basically, unless you proc it off the first hit, you're only gonna get one memory per enemy. So, like you're
I
not
will
gonna
say,
get that many.
it's attack plus 180%, right? And it's what, 600 base attack?
It's, yep, roughly like 6.
So you would
600,
need
600, yeah.
So on a elite enemy, you would need maybe 18 attacks, give or take, to get the burst. And since it's AoE with a 30-second duration, I can see it like working.
And
It's
the attack
multi-hit.
interval decrease, yeah, is kind of saving it.
Yeah.
We'll also say that once the enemy is blocked by memory, they will not be attacked by an obvious anymore.
Yeah, the memory is
But-
doing the block at that point and hitting them.
But they'll still take Cognito Hazard damage.
Well, they'll be taking burst effect damage, and they'll just be taking
Yeah.
memory like just the memory attack.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm saying the operator
This-
themselves will not be attacking at that. Will not be hitting them at that point, unless the memory
Yeah.
explodes. In which case, here we go again. But that's what I mean. It's not. They're not taking double the They're not taking damage from 2 sources.
this really just
I-
feels like Dusk.
I feel like skill 3 would make a lot more sense if there was a target cap. Like if it was attacks only unblocked enemies max like 4, then it would make a lot more sense.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Let's see. Enemies lose movement speed. Yeah, so you basically just slow them down until they get blocked. This is definitely a chaff clearing skill for me, from what I'm seeing. Like, I don't think this is gonna do. I don't believe this will do whacking out. Once you proc the effect, it actually do a good bit of damage because elemental damage is functionally true damage right now. So functionally true damage, so it's still a good bit of damage. You're
Can I
basically
see the memory?
Yeah.
Sorry.
you're procking you're basically procking the burst effect, and that's what you're rolling with.
Oh.
Basically, it just means you're taking.
Do
You're basically
you?
taking a lot of elemental damage. You're,
Yeah, wait, hold up. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, is there ever a universe where I don't run skill 3?
in case you really need someone to be thick for S2.
Yeah,
You need a defensive
then-
buff.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm looking at S1
unless-
I don't think I use S1 when I have S3. DBH.
Yeah.
Unless
I
like
get the skill 2. That's
unless
right,
you're like if you're blocking someone, use S2. If you're using it as range damage, then you're probably gonna run S3. S1 is like, I guess, very situational if you want that damage, but it's definitely very overshadowed by skill 2 and 3, which, is pretty common for Arknights operators. Like, that's not uncommon. So
I will say,
I'm not gonna quibble too much about that.
other than S2, this doesn't feel all that different from Virtuosa. Like, it
Kinda.
feels like because
Different, but
S3
different.
kind of works the same but has like different downsides. S1
Mhm.
kind of works the same but has different downsides,
Mhm.
Like, it's kind of like the difference between Zima and Texas,
Mm. Fair enough. Alright, ready to move on to lore?
Sure.
Alright, get ready to read.
Oh, son of
Medkits is his favorite phrase. Get ready to read. Medkits, damn. Alright. We will, again, quietly read until we're ready to go to the next page. Ugh. Sorry, my legs are sore. Is it bad that I see Memo Keeper and my mind just went straight to frickin' HSR? And I was like, wait a minute, that's not the same Memo Keeper. It's a different Memo Keeper.
Ooh.
Don't worry, it's an MSR or HSR reference. Don't worry about it if you don't play HSR.
You simply call it that person.
Yeah, that person. Don't worry about it. It's
Yeah,
just
they're
that person.
their pronouns are that/person.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's move on.
Ready next page?
Yep.
Oop, ready for next page?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh.
The medic is like, damn, the second page of reading. I'm not surprised that this would be Iberia themed, if I remember this right. This does not surprise me. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they are Iberia pilled. This is this is on brand for Boulder. Probably would expect the same things at Blue. The resident Iberia folk. Let me know when we're ready to go to voice lines. In which case I throw Boop under the boss this time.
Yeah, I can
That's
go for
fine.
science.
All
It's
right.
just a lot of Iberia.
I'll do it. No. We're taking turns. It's my turn.
It is Boop's turn to be Iberian.
I wish to be run over by the bus. I will pull you out from underneath the bus and throw myself there.
All right, here's the bus.
Nice. Meager is such a beautiful country, wouldn't you agree? It's been so long since I've been there. The culture, the food, the overwhelming power of the abyssal hunters. It's all so captivating. It's such a shame that all of that beauty is buried deep within the ocean, out of view of the rest of the world. Though, I believed some of it could save Iberia, but I was called a monster. They stopped me from doing the one thing that could save them. Ria Iberia. It was a beautiful city. We were free to live as we pleased. The age of exploration brought in wealth from the world over, but it was too good to be true, unfortunately. With greed came ignorance, and with ignorance came danger. Now they shun us, call us by a different name. Living in Iberia as an Egern is no longer safe. That's why so many have left. I hope someday I can return to my home on that street corner, now hidden deep beneath the waves. Ah, that Scotty girl. I would love to have a chat with her. I am familiar with her situation. I simply must ask her some questions regarding the Charm Law. I'm curious to see how much she truly understands the situation she is in, or if she even knows what's happening at all. There's so much I need to know. If I could simply have her embrace Seaborn blood, maybe I could really converse with the redacted. Just kidding, of course. Yes, I have met that Whispering Girl. Generally, I would be happy to help someone recover cherished lost memories. But with her, it's different. While our species does lose its memories during a rebirth, we do not lose our personality, nor how that personality has changed due to events one has experienced. With the way she conducts herself, I fear restoring her memories may do her more harm than good. Hello. It's very nice to meet you, Doctor. You may refer to me as Anonymous. I'm no longer of any use to my old job, but I hope I can find a place here. I hope to reunite with some old acquaintances here, and become good friends with them moving forward.
Hey. So
No, I was never a theater kid.
you will be pointed at as if you were a theater kid. Good luck, Boop.
That's fine. I will exit stage right.
No. Alright, let's get started with points. Want to keep going in order then? So we'll go Boop and then gets me.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright. I like the lore. Lore was nice. I'll give it a 1.7.
Mm-hmm.
For cohesion and integration, yeah, it works together. I'll give it a 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
For balance, I think the balance is fine. It's not overpowered, but it's not underpowered. I'll give it a 2.
Mm-hmm.
For the kit, it just feels like Virtuosa, but different. It doesn't feel fresh. It's just like, oh, hey, instead of going left, let me go right. So I'll give it a 1.5.
Alright, so 6.7 from Boop.
That was a lot of reading.
And then he's like, ah, shit.
A little too much, but at the same time, it's not really fair to criticize because you guys gave a minimum or maximum, sorry. So that's fair. At the very least, I picked up on the whole immortal jellyfish and kind of, whereas Whisper Rain is supposed to be his memory loss, this one seems to be multi-personality, or at least like struggling to remember who is who. So that seems a bit more interesting. So I'll give it a 2 point. 5. I think it works. I like it. Just a lot of readings. I kind of lost track, I'll be honest. The kit, though, I'm not very familiar with this specific archetype of supporters because I don't have any except for Valarquin and Fonar, and I don't use them. And I also don't use Virtuosa, so I can't tell what's strong or good, to be honest. But the kit does not feel overly interesting. I feel all of them, I could kind of go, oh yeah, it just reminds me of another character we know at a slightly different angle. First one is pretty generic, like do bonus damage, charge. Second one is just that vanilla skill 2 with a emphasis on defensive, and then skill 3 is just, for me at least, it just reminds me of Dusk. But I guess people are saying it's Virtuosa Part 2, which I'll take their word for it. So it didn't feel that interesting, but at the very least, it worked. So I'll give it a 1.5 for kit. Balance, it feels pretty strong, but I kind of like the idea of it, and it does feel like a 6-star character, so I'll give it like a 2.3. Because I think at the very least, it does feel like a 6-star operator. For cohesion, though, the memories kind of come out of nowhere, and I wasn't expecting a supporter to summon anything. Typically, when a supporter summons stuff, it's to buff somebody or to kind of defend them or improve their capabilities, right? Scotty's little sea creature, Roberta's little drone to increase defense, Winflet no one uses but he gives a little bit of attack as well, Stainless, you know, all of these things doing something, but they're not actually like impeding the enemy per se. So this one felt kind of out of left field for me. I don't expect a supporter to usually block an enemy like this, especially a elemental supporter. Typically, I feel like the elemental supporters are I'm gonna let my friends do their job for me, right? More often than not. And then I will benefit from them existing, which seems to work in this case with the talent. You know, if they're in the range of this character and your friends are stalling the enemy, good. You are debuffing them with this, what's it called again? Sorry, the...
Memory?
No, the debuff.
Oh, Incognito Hazard.
Incognito Hazard, thank you. But yeah, it works, the whole thing works out beautifully. But, so the cohesion is there, integration is there, but I don't like the fact that it's something little memories, because that just feels out of left field for me personally, for a supporter. So I'm gonna give it a 2.1 or 2. 2.2 sounds good to me, because everything else is fine, but I just really don't like the whole memory part.
Alright. An 8.5 from Medkit. Also, something Shamir debuffs enemies and doesn't buff you. Although technically, if you look at it, like, Shamir technically buffs you by debuffing the enemy in a reverse sort of way, so technically he's right.
Yeah, but Shamir's a Hexer. Hexers don't buff allies.
Also
Well,
true.
my point was, like, you don't normally block enemies, right?
Yeah,
Like,
blocking is a
supporter.
bit of a wait a minute moment. Let's see.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the lore is pretty solid. I think the lore is solid here. Makes sense. We got a good idea of the personality. We got a good idea of what they do. Again, I am not surprised that Boulder has Iberia lore. like Boulder's doing Iberia lore. This does not surprise me. I'll give lore too. As for the kit itself, I do see the kind of similarity of, like, oh yeah, you know, you have the one does this, the one is like the burst, the 2 is the buff and ally, and then the 3 is like the it does feel pretty similar to Virtue in like a skill 1, 2, 3 concept. The only thing that kind of mixes it up is, you know, the talents having the summon. I will say that, but it's I can see the arguments of this is like the 1B to Virtuosa's 1A or something in terms of like the kit design, right? So I'll give it like a 1.8. Balance, I think they're strong. I think it fits. I think they're strong but not ridiculously so. So I think the balance is fine. I'll give balance a 2. And then as for the cohesion integration, I do think the summon is a little bit. The summon to me is more for lore purpose. It's more lore coded versus gameplay coded. Since as far as I can tell, supporters tend to not summon things that block enemies, so it gets a little wonky on that end. But otherwise, I mean, it works together, it fits together, I understand what you're trying to go for here. So, I'll give it like a 1.7 here. So it'll be 7.5 for me.
I will say, I just assumed that the summon blocking things was like a one-off thing, kind of like beeswax obelisk, because I could make the same argument about, oh, casters don't summon things that block people, you know.
I would agree with you, but we have a whole subclass of summoners in the support
Fair
class, which is why I'm like, kind of breaching
Going a little
your
bit.
identity. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, yo, Magellan's already got it rough. You don't gotta make it worse, man.
No.
We've
No, it's fine.
sussed him out. He's trying to defend Magellan. We've figured it out.
She's got the best bind, and I will defend that to this day. Right?
Yeah, the bind is great. Listen, it can be literally anywhere on the map. You could. How can you say no to that?
Exactly. See, he gets it.
I can't even use her though. She's not a release operator.
I don't care.
Mythic is like, F your niche.
Tactician! Let's go! Better
Since I'm
than Vigil
Tactician-
already.
Well, Vigil is catching so many strays this contest.
I actually like Visual.
Listen, we're going to walk by like an alleyway. Vigil's just gonna be beat up. He's gonna need like
Catching
7
so
stitches
many
on his
strays,
arm.
bruh. It's a Zalek, and they're from Rimbilly. Tasmanian Devil from Rimbilly.
Oh, I like that. That works. We love it.
Listen,
While our comparison is Mumu and Vigil for
I-
stats,
I will absolutely defend Vigil to the best of my ability, but I can't disagree that he's not amazing, you know.
Who, Vigil?
That's very high defense. Hold up. Yo, 363 defense?
That's
Yo,
double. That's
that's
the
more
average.
than double. What do you mean?
Well, I'm just rounding up, but it is indeed a ridiculous. Why is this person so tanky? Like, what are they made of?
They have a lot less attack though.
Tasmanian
Really? Wait,
Devil.
hold up. Really? No.
double
Vigil
check
has
for
542. Mumu has 562.
Yeah, but
Let me double check for you, Kiwi.
Hey,
Let me just double
Attack
check
is a
to say.
big difference. Like, like it's a big difference.
that's still crazy though. That defense, I can't get over.
Let me
Listen.
double check for Kiwi, then I didn't
I
accidentally
can't-
flip the numbers around. I'm just gonna do it to be safe.
They have almost as much as fucking Flametail.
No,
Wait,
no, those
hold on.
numbers are correct. The numbers are
Let's
correct.
go! Flametail has
This
300.
is a melee. This is a melee range, basically.
The numbers are correct. The
Can't
attack
wait
is
for Talent
482,
1
the
to be
defense
like,
is
oh, can be
363.
deployed on. Can't wait for Talent 1 to be like, oh, can be deployed on melee tiles.
Well, here we go. Unfortunately, the talent is not you can be deployed on melee tiles.
Oh.
But there's your summon point. And then your talent 2 is you got a Viz reveal, but only when they're inactive.
Wait, hold up.
That's really nice because you could like purposefully inactivate purposely like retreat them and get like a 25-second invis reveal.
Yeah,
That's-
slowing
that's
or
really-
movement speed down, not a slow. Technically, it's two different things.
Yeah, but 15% isn't like
It's not
a lot.
much, but
Wait,
eh,
did
It's
they
enough,
include the
but it's not a
range?
lot.
Did they include the range of the summon by any chance?
I believe that should show up in the summon stats.
Yeah, I need to see the range before I say anything about the invisible.
It's just the same tile.
Wait, so it's a one tile invis reveal?
Basically.
Yeah, no, it's not a one tile
it's
invis
eight
reveal.
surrounding.
Surrounding it.
okay,
Surrounding it.
sorry. I don't know how I missed that.
Laugh, everyone point and laugh at this man. He is EN
wait,
as well.
Yeah, I actually like that. No, that works.
It's nice.
This is a good summon. I like the summon.
It's a very nice upside to having like a range of self, you know, unlike Vigil, who's just like get fucked idiot, you
Can I see
know?
the summon stats? Actually, I really want to
Yeah.
see the stats on this thing now.
Yeah, we're already.
Oh wait, I need to see that too. Hold up.
Hey, the res
We'll
is
say this is,
normal.
I think this might be one of the first. Okay, I don't use tacticians that often, so correct me if I'm wrong, obviously. But I want to say most tacticians, if not all of them, don't interact when the summon is inactive.
Correct. Yeah,
This is correct.
they usually don't do anything.
Yeah, it's just
This
like
is-
your skill can pop off of them. I think in the case of Black Knight, does it pop when the summon is asleep or no?
These Black Knight can still activate her skill when the summon is
Is not
But it won't
good.
do
is
anything, right?
inactive.
It
Yeah.
doesn't do anything. This is the first one where
Yeah.
they actually do something when they're like taking a
Yeah,
nap.
which makes sense. You're sacrificing a whole talent for it, which I'm like, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty nifty.
Listen, if
Um,
Inez has permanent invis reveal, this guy can have 25 seconds of invis
wow.
reveal. All right.
This is a pretty vanilla summon. Not too strong, not too like crazy, but the redeploy is nice. I mean, not the redeploy. Sorry, the not redeploy. The overall like distribution of stats is nice, and I feel like that in conjunction with the invis reveal and movement slow, this would be an amazing early game Vanguard.
Yeah.
You ready to go to skills?
Yes.
See what the skills do as soon as I hit the next button, but I'll click on a different window. Anywho. Ah, so this kind of a okay. I
Oh.
don't dislike that S1.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
really
dislike
nice.
that.
Oh, let's go. We have a
I
tactician that
actually quite
doesn't
like
have to
that.
be retreated anymore.
You can reuse
Yes!
and actually move them. I don't disapprove of that actually.
This
Like your range.
I feel like I'm on the opposite side of the fence. I'm okay with it, but I feel like this is gonna be only really useful in very specific situations where
Oh, I
there's two
know.
lanes. But like
Yeah,
other than
but
that,
that's
yeah,
the
it's
point.
good.
Like it's
Like
it's the fact that you can do it, but it's not like broken. That's like, oh hey, like that's actually
Yeah,
a-
exactly.
a nifty S1. Like, are you gonna be using it a lot? Probably not, but it's cool.
I can think of some places, yeah,
Yeah.
where it's like you have two lanes, and then the Vanguard can look at both lanes, but you gotta like kind of move it around. That's
Yeah.
where I can see
Yeah.
it being useful.
And you can, oh yeah, you can summon and do stuns actually. So you can actually do,
It's time stuns, yeah.
yeah, you can actually do stuns with this. Never mind, you can actually make stuns work.
Wait, it's a breader. It's a basically a second Project Red.
But limited
Pretty
to the
much.
attack range of your,
Yeah.
limited to Berlin's attack range though.
Yeah.
So,
Damage is a bit mild, but I'm okay with that because you have a 2-second stun, which
I
is
mean, you're
just
going for
good in
detail.
general.
it's also
That's
talent.
util. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, it's just util at this point. So that's pretty good. And you can also use it as like a redeployable invis reveal. Deploy,
Oh yeah, just like
retreat
retreat
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Never
It's
mind.
definitely util, which is
Yeah.
good. Let me
Again,
see.
I'm just liking the fact that you can actually fiddle with it a bit.
Gradually gain NDP.
Trigger speed is
Oh.
17. 5 initial, like it doesn't take a whole lot to do. Like,
Wait.
I mean, honestly, when you pop it, you only have 7. You technically only have 7 seconds of downtime before doing it again. Wait, this S1's stronger than I thought.
What, skill 2?
No, just S1. Sorry.
Oh no,
With
skill
the-
1's
with
very
the-
strong.
yeah.
It's
I was like, wait a minute,
it's
that's
very
stronger than I
strong.
thought. Yeah. Because you functionally only have 7. Well, technically a little bit longer than 7 seconds, but you know, you can just pop. You can just deploy and then retreat again. You actually have a reason to leave your tactician on the field for way longer. For CC, anywho, for 2. I'm sorry, spawn pitfalls. Are
It's,
good?
it's just a trap. Yeah.
I'm assuming it just means you spawn a hole.
Not a whole hole, but like it's just like it's kind of like a, what do you call it? Oh,
Frost traps.
Oh,
it's
frost traps.
it's
Okay,
flavor.
okay.
It's just a
It's
frost trap,
flavor.
yeah.
Alright, I
It's
just
flavor.
thought pitfall and I was like, we spawned at holes.
I wait though. It says you gradually gain 10 DP, and then you retrieve the tactical point, and then you spawn it. But then it says at the end, after skill ends, retrieve the tactical point.
It is also true. Kiwi, when is
So,
this
are we-
getting? Are you double retrieving it?
What's going on here, right? Are you able to like redeploy it during this time or something? What's going on?
The way I'm interpreting then is that the tactical point disappears, but you can't redeploy until the skill ends. Like you can't do the 10 second timer doesn't go down until the skill concludes.
Okay, yeah.
That's the way I interpret
that would make a bit more sense. Maybe just like instead of retreat, maybe just like maybe retreat it, and then wait, you can redeploy during the skill.
No, I think the point is you can't.
No,
redeploy
he
the
just
skill.
said you can redeploy during
Can
the skill.
redeploy the skill?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can basically put it down again and then okay, they can just keep blocked, but then you just retrieve it after the skill ends. You basically have a 5-second window to
Yeah.
put this thing down and then
Yeah, in
retrieve
case you have to
again.
block it, I guess. Something you really
Fair
gotta
enough.
block one enemy,
Do
maybe.
a stun or something. Fair enough.
That seems whatever. That's fine though.
Let's see, how's the attack? It's not that much. It's a very CC heavy skill. It's a bind, and then you basically have a stun and a bind. Either way, if they're not immune to bind or stun, you can lock them down for how long is that? 4 cardinal points from it. So if they're in a line, you can get
32. It's 32 seconds total, but assuming they only take like 5 tiles, then that's 20 seconds.
I'm also assuming that all the traps go away the second the skill ends. So
yeah,
That would make the most sense.
yeah, it's like I'm assuming they don't just stick around forever. Otherwise, that'd be
Otherwise, you
silly.
would just like deploy this burrow in the back of the map and just lay around like Teemo shrooms all over the fucking place and just be just
It'd be a little
no,
ridiculous.
not Timo.
Down under, the very
Yeah.
Australian.
so. All right, what's this?
S3. Oh, the SP cost for skill 2 is 25. Okay. I want to. Yeah, it's very util heavy. The attack is low, right? From what we remember, the attack is like decently low.
The attack is fairly low.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure.
The
that I have-
defense skyrockets instead.
Okay.
Tactical point can be deployed globally.
Oh.
Wait, hold up. Is it immediately retrieve the tactical points, plural?
I'm assuming that's just a mistype. I'm
Okay.
gonna chalk that up to a mistype.
And then.
I mean, deploy global.
20 seconds.
Oh, so you basically have You basically have 20
You
seconds
turn it-
where you can drop this thing anywhere temporarily.
Oh.
Reduce the attack of a burrow of these gains 80% defense. I'm gonna be honest, skill 3 feels like you're doing Project Red with more steps.
This feels kind of. Eh.
Feels like you're
'Cause-
doing Project Red with more steps.
You just really want to stall somebody.
You just want to do a block globally, and I'm here just like, okay, if I'm gonna do stalls with S3, I'd rather just bring a Project Red at this point.
I'd actually be just bring
I
gravel.
mean,
Or just grab, yeah, like.
yeah,
if you
just
do a
bring
stun-
gravel.
You do a stun, or you do a block between. I'm like, what?
I will
would
say,
use this
though-
S3 outside of, I guess, like, yeah, you have some roll compression with DP gen and then being able to do this, but it's like, how much roll compression do you really do where you're not even bringing an FRD, right? It's
Oh,
like,
one thing actually
Mhm.
is you can use this for you when you really need to reveal somebody across the map. Who's
Yes.
invisible.
that's fair.
That's the-
I will say, I'm very disappointed in the fact that the 363 defense was not used in any of the talents or
Yeah.
skills. I am very disappointed.
I would have loved to see something like partially like this. Some of the defense is used as an attack or some shit. I don't know. I was like, why does this character have so much defense for nothing? It's so
They
weird.
can just take an extra bullet or two. No worries.
It's just it's just Australia buff.
Australia, exactly. Everything that
I'll
was
be
trying to kill.
honest.
It's just
Like
evolution.
I know we're not reviewing it, but I feel like after skill 1, I'm so disappointed.
Same.
So,
Honestly, same.
fun-
Like skill 1, I'm like, yeah. And then I'm looking at I'm like,
I think at the very least, skill 3 does play with the whole like redeploy deploy mechanic, right?
yeah.
But damn, this feels so
It feels
lackluster.
Damn
yeah, it's like
fun.
you can deploy globally during the skill. I'm like at that point, dude, just make it deploy globally during the whole thing. Just to make it a passive at that point.
Right.
But I mean, I
Hon-
would probably dink the hell out of it for just
Or-
tackling
honestly-
things. But you know,
honestly, they could have like made it like an ammo thing where it's just like, oh, you can deploy it globally, but it uses up like an ammo, right, when you do it, right? And it
that
or
would
something
be
like
way
that.
more
rather-
interesting. That would have been way more interesting than just you got about 20 seconds where you have a glorified gravel / Project Red. Like that's the way I
And-
see it.
And that's where it could be like where the multiple retrieve the tactical points could be. Like imagine you have 3 ammo and you could deploy 3 of them, but they have like reduced stats or something.
Yeah, it's like S1, I was like, oh, this is pretty nifty. Like, oh, you got some use. And then you look at S3, you're like, honestly, like I feel like I'd just rather use S1 with like how you can fiddle with it. It's just faster.
Mhm.
Like S1 and S3 are just like 1A and 1B. I feel like
I will say
Yeah.
Skill 2 sounds like Beanstalk Skill 2 with extra steps.
Unironically, actually, yeah.
Kinda,
You're
yeah.
stalling a little bit, right?
Yeah, you're kind of stalling a little bit. Only instead of, you're watching 4 crabs get the shit beaten out of them, you're like, alright, forget watching the crabs get beaten up. We're just gonna put traps instead.
Just like Vigil, no.
I think I don't know. It just feels so. You could have done more.
S1 is my favorite out of all these.
No,
3
100%.
skills.
Yeah, it's the best one for sure.
Like we started at a high point. It's like you're climbing a roller coaster, right? You hit the high point and you're like, yeah, skill 1, and then it's all downhill from there.
Well, normally downhill's a good thing, no?
Yeah, not in this case though. It's like,
Roller coaster, yeah.
no, this is like stock market downhill where it's like number arrow go down bad. But it's like
Not
Wait,
stonks.
a part of me
Someone make that meme and just put Seilichan on the face instead of like the guy in the suit,
She
with
doesn't
the
do
arrow
that.
going down.
But yeah, I like talent 1. I like talent 1. I love talent 2. I like skill 1. And then I get skill 2 and 3. I'm just kind of like,
Why?
underwhelmed. I'm not even whelmed. I'm underwhelmed by 2 and 3.
I think the problem was we saw the innate value of being able to just move your tactical point. And I get skill 2 and 3 do that as well, but I feel like you're trying. But the problem is those require you to like just sacrifice the potential of doing other things with that talent, like what's the word called, relationship, and your skills. So
Yeah, like 1, good. 2, whelmed. 3, underwhelmed.
all right, let's move on to the lore, I guess.
Oh my god. Alright,
What's
so just gonna say in advance, I'm pretty sure the voice lines are very Australian. So
Oh,
I don't have to do them. Yay!
anyway, who do you want to do an Australian accent? Actually, Medkits will just read it deadpan, so I feel like
I'm gonna read it
throw another bus
deadpan, so just so you know.
here. I'm gonna throw another bus here. I will offend everyone in Australia with this accent. Alright, let me know when you guys are ready to go to the next page.
I'm on the last paragraph. Okay, I'm good.
Poop, you good to go to next page?
Yes.
Alright.
Is this just Steve Irwin to a degree?
Honestly, that was what I was getting when I was reading this.
He's just a dude who likes animals.
This is what I'm getting from this. We got Steve Irwin. But, before the Stingray got to him. Okay.
For a moment, I completely forgot who Steve Irwin was, and I'm like, wait.
How dare you?
Low-key, I am glad that you didn't make the summon the Stingray.
Oh, Dad, that's a
That
0 for
would've
you,
been-
homie.
That would have been messed up if that was the case.
Alright, I'm good.
You good for voice size poop?
Yes.
How badly can I offend all of Australia? Alright. To all the Australians, I apologize in advance. This little Sheila here leads me to you, mate. You might have heard of me, Steve Brown. Mates call me Burman if you prefer that. That Sheila over there. Ray, is it? I heard that last I had Death Wish looking for a Mike Beast and beckons a catastrophe. Have a chat with her about that, eh, lad? Last I asked, I swear she had the look of the killer. All that myth and rumors about me. It's all true, mate. Sorry, won't let you suss any of it out. Suss any of it, though. It's the rule. Getting tissy, mate. So better look down under you. You really got a good thing going on in the hood, don't you? Good on you, Doc. I was straying into Scottish so much. It's like, the fuck does Australian end and Scottish begin? I apologize for nothing, Australia. No, I apologize for if I've offended every single Australian in this room. Alright, anywho, who wants to actually
Okay.
know? So same order for points
Yeah,
then?
we'll just do the same order for at least, yeah.
Anything you guys want
Yeah.
to revisit before we go to points?
Can you just leave it on the skill page for me?
Yeah, I'll leave it on the skill page for when, because I'm going to do this thing, but I'll bring it back to the skill page when it's your
Oh,
turn.
actually, that's fine. I have an idea in my head. That's a good screenshot.
Go for it, Boop.
Alright. I'm gonna start with lore. Lore's fine. I'll give it a 1.5 because it's nice lore. It's not anything out of the ordinary. I also don't think it's something we've seen before in Arknights, so that's cool. For cohesion integration, I think it works. They work well together. I think barring balance and like what the kit does, I think that the skills and the talents do work well together, and none of the concepts that it has are so out there that it doesn't fit into Arknights as a game. So I'll give it a 1.8. For balance, it is. I would say it's okay, and maybe even a little underpowered. It's not. Again, it's not anything special. I'll give it a 1.5.
Alright.
For the kit feels very interesting if you look at only talent 1, talent 2, and skill 1. For skill 2 and skill 3, they're very, I don't want to say copy paste, but they're way too similar to other skills or other archetypes that you could just use, right? And what those skills do, I feel, is not enough to justify bringing that operator over something else, right? Like, of course it's usable. It's not about whether it's usable or not. It's just like, why would I use that skill? Like, why would I use skill 2 or why would I use skill 3 over certain better options, right? Like, there isn't enough utility or stats behind it, right? So I'll give Kit 1.
Get a 1. Gotcha. So 5.8 from Boop Cowl.
I
Alright,
think
that gets-
lore.
You want me to I can put it back in the skills page for you.
I think lore is fine. Just give it a 1.5. There's not really much to say. I don't really
Mm.
doesn't really jump out to me. At the very least, it fits the whole Rim Billington thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say this right now. The lore makes it sound like this is some badass like Rim Billington dude, right? Who tames a beast. But then there's nothing like that. The actual gameplay. It's just letting his summon do all the work. To do anything interesting. So that's partially I'm kind of like wondering what's going on here. The kit, I think it's already been beaten to death, so I'll make it quick. But the talents are fine. I think they're great. The skill 1 was fine, but skill 2 and 3 just felt such like underwhelming additions to the character. I'm gonna give it like a 1 point. I'll just go middle to go 1.5 because at least the talents and skill 1 were good, but everything else felt kind of like luster.
Fair.
The balance was definitely a problem because even I was kind of like, I can't see myself using this operator too often, even for the meme of it, because it's just kind of like the only real niche they have is redeploying their summon with the invis reveal at most, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be kind of good, right? So I guess that kind of good plays for it, but other than that, everything else just feels like I'm trying to compress multiple people into one character for whatever reason. Other than that, whatever. I would probably give him this is a 1. I'm sorry, I just don't like the balance of this character. And then same for the cohesion integration. It's just like you're trying to create this Rim Billington character who's like all up in their like business, fighting the tough guy, you know. But then the summon just sits there and ideally wants to be the summon wants to be revealed half the time to be fitting into the niche. So I'm like, are you actually fighting anybody at that point? And then for some reason, it has a lot of defense that does nothing. And you try to make it fight a lot for some reason. It doesn't really work. I don't get it. And if you're gonna make the character or the summon brawl a lot, why give it like just average stats? You can afford to go higher, you know? Like the reason why Vigils is low is because there's 3 of them and they hit multiple times. And they can never get one tapped because you have to kill all 3 at once or 3 in a row. Mumu can summon multiple clones and copy stats, so that makes sense. So this one just has nothing going for it. It's just kind of there. So from a perspective, I'm like, I'd always use Vigil over this character, except for the one time I maybe need Invis reveal and I don't have anyone in the Sentinel Defenders, the Lords, or Silverash, and Inez. Like, there's so many situations that need to happen for me to go,
If you
yeah.
get target banned in PvP.
Yeah, that's the only reason I ever use this operator. I'm just kind of like, I can't justify it, so it's that's also a 1.
Yeah, that is the harshest I've ever seen this man tonight. That's a 5.0 from Mr. Medkits. I will say in advance, do not expect anything too high from me either. The lore is like, there's a bit of a detachment between what I expect from the lore, the personality, versus what they're actually doing. Like, again, the oh yeah, you know, they're ready to throw hands, and then it's like, wait, man, they're just sitting up there, like, wait, hold on, they ain't throwing hands for shit. So, like, but it's enough. So it's a 1.5. Like, you hit bare minimums. For the kit itself, again, it's kind of a beaten horse at this point, but it's like, dude, I was so excited. I was like, I saw talent 1, 2 is skill 1. I was like, yeah. And then I saw the rest of the kit, and I was like, ah. So, you've done enough to get to 1.5. Beyond that, not really. You have done enough to earn the 1.5. As for the balance, one is fine. Talent 1 and 2 I think are great, are actually really well balanced. 3 is, I'm like, why would I touch 3 for like very, very, very situational points? And then 2 is just you just don't want to see the crabs get punched for being stuck. So I'm just kind of like, 2 and 3 I don't really pass balance for me. So I'm like, honestly, you know what? I'll just give this a 1.5 down the board, and I'll just give you a flat 6 of like, between being like, yeah, and then underwhelmed, I will conclude this at, you know what? We'll just leave it at whelmed. I will leave this at whelmed. Whelmed is a 16.8, by the way. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Quick 5-minute break, because this is our halfway point. We'll take a quick 5-minute break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Leave it on this screen. So stretch, do what you need to. Quick 5-minute break.
Get your coffee, get your tea. You know.
Mm-hmm. We shall be back. I'll leave it on the leaderboard screen. So, be right back. Alright, I am back to entertain you in chat. But yeah, next up is going to be Operator Caffeine. And then... Next is Operator Caffeine, followed by Charisse, Absconder, and Mercury. So that will be Let Reality Break, Lasat, Lazy Couch, and Sir Quacker in that order when we start again. Is Twitch being weird? Because my bitrate has been fine, just FYI. Bitrate's been fine on my end, so it shouldn't be on my end. It might be on Twitch's end. Just FYI. Twitch might be a little wonky right now. Might be a little wonky. But yeah, that's the order for upcoming operators and upcoming folks. So, yeah. Can't wait to see. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see.
So I left my headphones on my spacebar by accident. Now there's like 8,000 characters in Discord that are just space in the message bar.
Wait, what'd you do? Oh, did you put your...
Yeah, I put my headphones on my spacebar.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Alright, I think everyone is back. Ready to keep going with round 2.
I am ready.
Yeah.
All right.
24-hour stream when, Wookie? Come
Never.
on.
Never.
Uh,
Dude, I am way too old to be I mean, I say that as I'm pretty sure both of you here are grandpas compared to me.
The fuck?
I said what I said.
listen. Medkits, I am known as Mr. Grandpa around here.
Who
I am
is?
the oldie in this chat.
I don't know.
Even
Megan's
though I'm
also
not.
pretty old.
Yeah, but in terms of Arknights, I'm old because I only use day 1 operators. All these newfangled operators are too old.
I'm literally
new
a
for
day 1
me.
player too, don't even.
Nah, but Luke only uses day 1 operators.
Yeah, whatever.
He's-
No
he's-
Bagallan. Get out of here.
You're the judge
Get the
of
fuck
Civil
outta
War
here.
mode. Oh dear.
What's the point? You can't even use the famous Bagallan toilet strat.
Arknights OC Contest Civil War Edition.
Hey, I'm not the dinosaur, Ambrisk. There we go. We have our first 5-star. We have a geek.
Yeah, to be honest, me and Medkits, we're like turning into oil, you're still a skeleton.
Yeah, see, I'm not quite there yet.
Big key.
Yup.
As long as it's better than like Spuria, I
Oh,
don't
Spuria's
really
good.
care.
Go fuck. Spuria's great. Don't
Ben is
even.
ready to throw hands.
Excuse
Oh,
you. Spuria's great. I don't need this.
Spurrier
slander.
skill 1 is good. Spurrier
No,
S2
I
is
I
kind of
exclusively use Spuria's skill 2. Go away.
whatever.
He makes far too hit
okay,
really funny.
okay. To be fair, I don't use modules.
Medkits is ready to throw hands. Also, if we were
Yeah.
from Victoria, but with no faction? First, but anywho.
But
I'm
yeah,
going to
no
assume faction is Victoria unless otherwise stated in lore.
We shall find out.
Oh wait, faction none. Never mind. I
Yes,
can't.
that's
read.
why
Stats
Parents
are
will
fine.
Spurrier here, because I think we only
I
have 2
can't
geeks in the game.
read.
Yeah. Stats are whatever. These are vanilla. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing too ordinary.
Alright,
Lots of HP actually.
so here's our talent.
It's negligible.
75% chance to trigger, so heal,
No wait, these are
stun,
vanilla.
or...
Vanilla. I'm done. 75% chance. Well,
Yup.
Wait a minute.
that's 5% better than Spuria. What is this power creep? Slash
Huh.
table flip. How dare you? In my
Wait.
contest? Sag.
It's, yeah, it's like a mix of like Ox and like Spurias.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So heal, stun, or defense shred. Alright.
Okay.
It's not amazing, it's not bad. It's
Yeah, it's
standard.
pretty vanilla, middle
Yeah.
of the line. Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see the module.
Nothing out of the ordinary, which I would consider to be a downside because this is a geek and I was expecting something interesting.
I'm gonna hold off on saying anything until I see the
The skills.
Yeah, because I feel like the geeks are all about their skills.
Mhm. Well, the module, you have faster SP recovery when you're above 80% HP, and then your talent,
Wait,
so you basically just give your casters and supporters 5 SP on deploy when you deploy.
hold the fucking. I'm sorry. Hold the fucking phone. Are you giving him a second talent?
Yeah, off a module. That's what I'm reading here. I'm like, I don't think Spuria's module does.
No.
I mean,
They don't
that is
do
a
that.
thing for 5 stars in general, though. Like I'm pretty sure Pram gets a second talent.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I mean, it's
Sometimes.
it's fine. I would say.
At the very least, it's just 5 SP. It's
Yeah,
nothing
it's
ridiculous.
Not,
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of just like a here you go.
Okay.
Is whatever.
That's what's the whole making me go. You know what? Fine, fair, but like,
'Cause I mean,
wow, just a raw second talent. I mean, I
mean-
know it does happen, but I just wasn't expecting it here because I feel like I don't need it for geeks. But sure, let's go on.
Sure, yeah. I mean, for reference, Spectre just increases Abyssal Hunter off damage by 3% off her module. That's just a fresh new talent that she gets.
Yeah.
So, just
That
FYI.
was.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. Skills. S1 is
That's just okay.
underwhelming. Very underwhelming.
I mean, most 5-star skill ones are
Yeah.
pretty underwhelming, so I'll give them some leeway
Yeah.
there. But the second one,
5%, 50 SPD, and then your closest caster or supporter, but you lose. That is a lot of HP over time that you are losing.
hold up, wait, they're gonna die in like
2 seconds.
They
Almost
die in
5, 6
5
seconds.
seconds. What?
yeah, 5 seconds.
You better hope
What?
you're rolling the RNG.
Wait.
This part is completely unnecessary to me. The second part is completely unnecessary. The
What?
losing-
Okay, I spoke way too early. Spuria is better than this.
Okay, here's the issue, okay? Spiria and the sniper, yeah, the sniper, sorry, or they both have a chance to stun themselves, but at least you're not dead.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying Spuria is better than this. Like, what?
Like, you're risking so much. Okay, just I'm reading it off right here. Spiria gives S2 M3, 30% attack and 40 ASPD. But the only downside is a 20% chance to stun themselves. So meaning there's a good amount of snipers that can use this and not get gimped. Good. That's how it should be. This is basically saying, fuck you, die.
'Cause I just realized,
Are you-
this is
are
your
we sure
caster
this is-
too. Your
Hey,
caster is
hey,
dying. You
wait,
have to heal 2 people.
is
Like, you
Jaime-
have to- Sorry, go ahead.
did Haimao make this operator? This feels like a scrapped Ak S2 skill.
Can I just also mention the geek's losing health during this whole duration, so the geek dies even faster.
Geek is like exploding. Like, just
Assuming they don't
straight
get the
up.
health back from the auto attack. But the point is, yeah.
Have you mixed Red Bull and coffee by chance?
Oh my
If this was
God.
they lose HP after the skill ends, kind of like a Gavial Alter S3 type of thing, I would understand that. Because you could say that, oh, they're crashing after the caffeine ran out, you know?
Yeah, that would make way more
That
sense.
would make
yeah.
more sense. Dude, you have to activate fucking Hilo S2 just to make this skill work, I feel like. So look
I
at
think
this.
Hilo and maybe the silence drone on top of regular healing might be like one of the few ways to like not get immediately fucking killed, and like the other bards maybe.
Like, okay, granted, Surtur is an S3. Surtur's caps out at 20% HP per second. She also gets 5,000 HP.
This is
If you are trying to buff your Golden Glow has 1,400 HP. If a single AoE goes off, both of them are dead. With that HP loss. Like, you are going to melt.
if I'm being honest, if you're gonna make them kill themselves like this, you might as well go crazy on the buff.
You might
Yeah.
as well just go like
Like
150% attack, 200 ASPD or something, but you are just burning out like immediately.
like actually, I think instead of HP loss, you should just said they forced retreat after like a certain amount of time. That would have been a bit more appropriate at that point.
Yeah, with like what you're
'Cause
trying to do, because this
this
is
is-
just
This is the I hate this operator, but I don't have AUG option.
this is you're just hitting the retreat button, but you don't want the DP back.
This is
Correct.
fascinating.
You're hitting 2 retreat buttons, but you don't want the DP back. That's what I'm getting at this point.
This
I have a question, Wookie.
Yeah.
Did you forget to put like a period between the 1 and the 7?
You know what? I will check just to be safe because this is so like out. Nope. That says 17%.
that's intentional.
Nope. That
Okay.
is what it says.
I just wanted to double check because I'm like, just in case.
Hey, Blue. We have an operator that's just hitting the retreat option twice, but you don't want the BP back from it. Well, that's true. We have a use. You go kill Wishinels with this in Icebreaker games. You have a second option. Oh wait, yeah, no, never mind. It doesn't even hit Wishinel. What's the point of this?
It's only casters or support, so I guess if you really don't like a nymph or something, I don't know, man.
What's the point of this then? I guess you want to kill one more.
Let me think. Is there any? I guess Aefea kind of gonna teach benefit. Aefea, Effie.
Your A is still gonna explode though.
Maybe Santala, but
Dude, that's coping. You know it.
no. I mean, like you can at least use your skill once and then get this active and then like go for a big boom. You know what I'm trying to say?
I guess, but it's like
But the problem is they're gonna die so fast.
you die in literally 5 seconds.
You know what's actually funny? Quirka's skill 1 would unironically be fun because she would just heal even faster.
Like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Yeah, you know.
But
she
wait,
really-
she'd be stuck healing herself though.
Oh, true. Yeah, so very
Because you're
useless.
both dying for like it's just...
Because here's the thing, right? I know we like Warfare S2 for buffing, but I think some people forget that in those 15 seconds, she's spending like 2, maybe 3 of those heals on herself because she's losing so much HP.
Yeah.
What's Warfarin's HP loss? Cap that.
It's 3% per second.
Yeah, okay. Warfarin is 3%, and it's you're buffing 90% attack. You get 35 attack and 50 attack speed, but you only get to hit a caster supporter, and you nuke yourself in the process. Oh hell no!
You definitely like. I don't normally care about the numbers too much, but this one definitely could have been like really up there, and we'd have been like, you know what? Fair enough, because you're gonna die in 5 seconds. There's not much you can do about it. You might as well go out with a bang.
Yeah, or just straight up crank the numbers up, but you explode afterwards.
Like the forced retreat I talked about.
Basically anything but this. Anything but this would work.
This is insane to me.
I'm like, what am I?
Okay, I think we can move
Yeah,
on.
we've beaten the horse's turned to glue.
The
We're
horse
now
got the caffeine.
The horse got the caffeine. Now we're punching the caffeinated glue. Here's our lore.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I am not drinking the coffee that caffeine makes for my own safety. I am
Is
not
Rhode
drinking
Island's-
this caffeine.
Is this like the operator that joins before Rhodes Island's just all dies of coffee drinking? Like, what's going on?
Takes one sip for immediate trip to the ER.
For real?
Considering that the doctor canonically eats dry instant ramen while guzzling hot water afterwards, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't care.
The doctor would be
That's
the
fair.
only one to survive this coffee, honestly.
Yeah.
What if the secret ingredient behind like the Energizer drink is that they asked Blue Poison for some of the poison and then just mixed it in with some Red Bull or whatever?
Blue's catching strays now. Blue showed up, said E, and Boop's immediately taking shots at Boop. And Blue,
All right, I think we can move on here.
Alright, who wants to do voice lines here? I did the last set, so Boop, either you're going under the bus.
I
or
can
Boop
do
is.
it.
Alright, Boop, you're under the bus.
Caffeine here. So what is it now? Oh, nothing. Can I ask though, to test out some candies I'm making? What's it made out of? Well, it's just an idea, but it's just made out of alcohol, spices, cocaine. It's just for the cafe, you know. Oh, metal? Thanks. I try to do some baking before whenever I free time. One of my coworkers is an annoyance though whenever I tried to bake. I gather information just using my arts. That's it.
Gather Wait, hold on. Sorry, the talk 3 for a sec. What information are you gathering? How quickly someone dies to one dose
You know,
of PS2?
information, you know?
What the fuck information
Yeah.
you need?
Listen. Whenever you say, I know a guy, I'm that guy, you know? I get the information.
Fair enough? Question mark? Alright. Let's
Alrighty.
Listen,
Let's-
there's a reason
let's
why I
just get
say
this
no
over with.
keep
questions.
going. Let's just keep going. Let's just rip the band-aid off. Go for it.
Alright.
For points.
Lore's fine. I'll give it a 1.5. For cohesion integration, I'll give it. Honestly, I'll give it like a 1.
Alright.
I don't think it works insanely well together. I mean, yeah, there's some synergy there, but it's not like anything special, you know? There's not like that wow factor for me. Actually, no, bump it up to 1.5. You met the mark, right? 1.5. You just met the mark. Balance, they're underpowered. I'll give it a 1.3. For kit, it's essentially just geek but different, so 1.4.
Alright. 5.7 from Boop.
I know I said I don't care about lore as much, but this feels legit just like they don't really do anything in AK. They're just kind of there. What, they just make coffee in this universe, that's it. What was it? They're a River, and then they're Victorian,
Yeah.
and they have no faction somehow, but they're an RI. So
Yeah,
this is like it's just so like, what are you doing here? What's the point? Probably like a 0.5. Honestly, it just feels like you picked the dartboard and just threw it at the board and said, eh. I don't ask for much for lore, but this was like underwhelming in all degrees. For kit, there was nothing interesting about this kit unless you like the suicidal ideology of
explode. Hit S2.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Probably also a 1 on kit because I just don't see anything interesting coming out of this. It just feels like he took some of Og, he took some of Spiria, stuck him in a character, and then said, what if they hit catchers and supporters? Whatever, like whatever, I don't care. Power level, we talked about it earlier. This was, you could have honestly gone like for the insane like 5-second steroid button, and it would have been way more interesting, and I would have fixed a lot of the issues with it. But instead, all we got was middling buff for suicide. Or at least you'd have to use so many more resources, like at least 2 healers to like make it somewhat. Like,
Tylo S2 just to use the fucking skill too.
and that's assuming they don't get whacked by the enemy, because there's a chance they just die in that second, right? Like it's just so much damage you're taking, and I'd rather use anyone else at that point. So that's also a 1. But at least for what it is, they are a geek that works with casual supporters, right? Maybe I'm coping a little bit, but you know, I can see it maybe universe for like, okay, AFL are skill 3, and they use the skill. She's gonna die, but she's definitely gonna take out like a huge horde with her, you know? So I'll give him some credit on that. It does at least work. There's some characters where I can see it working. It would work a lot better if they weren't so keen on killing themselves. But it's there, so I'll give that at least a 1.5, because at least I can see it being used in a very specific situation. But I'll be down if I can't imagine using this on like anyone, to be honest.
So that's a 4.0 from medkits. Alright, my turn. Lore is... I am very underwhelmed. I have learned... This is very generic. Granted, it's a 5-star, so 5-star lore isn't going to be like, oh wow, like super wowsy, but it was underwhelming even by those standards. Like, it's just... What exactly are they doing? Like, I still have no idea what they're doing outside of they're a barista. That's it. That's really all I'm getting from this. So lore, I'll give it like a 1 for lore. I'm really not getting anything from this. Balance. Alright, time to beat the caffeinated glue. S1 is generic. The talent is like, alright, I guess. Alright. sure. And then the S2 is why would I like if I wanted an operator to die, I just throw them at phase 2 Patriot at this point, or I just use Ock. Like I just don't see a purpose in S2. Like this is just the balance is all sorts of whack out of this operator. So I will give balance a 1. As for the kit itself, really the only interesting part is I guess you do stuff for caster supporter. That's honestly about it. Like it's not like it's generic, and it just feels like we're speed running the retreat button with extra. We're just hitting the retreat button with extra steps. So it's like, I mean, I guess it's a new way to hit the retreat button, I suppose. So it's like I'll give it like another 1. Like I'm just like, eh. For cohesion, you're trying to buff caster supporter. I can see that. So it's like, all right, I'll give a 1.5 for that. As in, well, you had a central theme. I just think the execution was poor, but the central idea is there. So you have bet the bare minimum of that. So that is a 4.5 for me. Boop, you don't give the lowest scores.
True.
Comes out to a 14.2.
I will say one last thing before I move on.
Mhm.
You have somehow made someone who gives a worse buff than Winflit.
Wait,
Damn.
hold on. We need to look at. Wait,
Because
Winflit.
Winflit only gives 15% attack for 30 seconds, but at least he doesn't kill them.
That's an indictment and a half right there.
And then it'll go to 30% with his skill too. But the point is, like, unironically, I would love a Winflit to use them over this. I'm so sorry, but
Oh god, worse than Windflit. Holy shit.
I personally go out of my way to use operators that not everyone uses, and even I don't use Winflit.
I have heard several times from medkits of just how bad Winflit is. The answer is very. This is the first time I've heard medkits mention regretting E2ing an operator.
Who was it? Who did I regret?
Winflit.
I didn't E2 Winflit.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, I said I would rather than use caffeine.
Ah, I see.
I just think the person creating it had a good idea if they just went all in on the numbers. So, but anyways, let's move on.
All right, so we have Charisse. This is by Lasat.
Just to make sure I'm on the right page. Wandering Medic is like the Aya berries, right?
Yep.
Or the berries. Okay,
Yep.
Thank you.
Berry time.
Okay.
So Sancta.
Victoria
Damn, she's
Sancta.
taller than
Hold
me.
up.
Wandering Medic.
Yup. Aya Berry has
Alright.
competition.
Finally.
Well, he's actually.
It's okay. It's
honest.
okay. Nothing can beat Bigly Heal that is global range and S1 that
Bigliest of
Yeah.
heals. Ew, here's
S1
stats.
that can heal
Um,
enemy units of elemental damage.
yes, this is pretty. That attack is actually quite high, no?
Aya S3. No, Aya with mod 3 is about 500-ish attack, a little bit above 500, so it's on par, I would say.
Okay, I don't know the modules numbers off the top of my head. That's probably why.
It's 469 plus 44, so what?
Okay.
513, give or take.
By the way, Wookie, you need to update the thing.
Oh,
at the
did I not
bottom.
update it? Alright, let me update it.
Okay. Well, anyways, at the very least, the stats are fairly safe.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry, let me update the names. Yeah, stats seem fine. Then here we go to
Oh,
talents.
Aya actually has more attack because I don't have the plus 23 attack pod.
Oh, that's
Alright.
an elemental barrier.
When skill is activated, the target healed gains. Question: is that the next target healed, or is that the last target healed?
That has to be the next
I
target.
imagine
right?
that's what it is.
If there's any
I'm
universe where it's... Sorry, go on.
I'm assuming it's a 2A skill 1 type of thing where she immediately heals a target and gives them a barrier.
Yeah, that's what I'll imagine.
Yeah,
it would be as well.
that's kind of what I was reading it as, yeah.
It's a pretty thick barrier though, but
But it's also
okay.
elemental only barriers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know what? That's fine. You can kind of go ham on elemental, to be honest.
Should be fine.
And for ref, oh wait, it's talent 1 only.
Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind.
Style 2.
Wait.
Target being healed for okay. Talent 2 is... Well, that's interesting, actually.
The duration,
Well, that's a pretty interesting way to
reduced.
go about it.
and then she's also biased.
Sarkaz or... Hey! It's Sarkaz or Sancta. It's not just
Okay.
Sancta.
So, I will say, I don't think reducing the duration is a buff, per se. I mean, yes and no, because the thing about the Necrosis is that the stun is separate from the Necrosis burst, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for the burn, it's just like, oh yeah, there's the res, there's the minus res. But theoretically, they could just receive more elemental damage faster this way.
Also true. Also, not to mention that you have to have the effect proc on you. And I'm like, isn't the
Yeah.
whole point of the Wandering Med to not let it proc on you?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give us a credit though, because sometimes no matter how much you have,
Yeah,
it's-
it'll proc.
like
Yeah.
think
I mean-
the walking eggs.
Oh, true, the eggs, yeah.
Yeah,
true.
you hit him too much. Oh, I don't care who you are, you're getting.
You're getting bonked with it.
I mean,
So,
at
I
the
can
same
see this.
time, it's kind of like saying, "Oh, talent 2 is going to succeed where talent 1 failed." You know?
Right.
To be fair,
I think-
Talent 1 is like that. It is a very large shield of elemental depth. Wait, is it perma? Does it stack?
I'm assuming it's perma, but I will give benefit of the doubt and say it just refreshes, because that's how Aya's skill 2.
Got it.
Yeah. I think we need to see the skills to see exactly what's going
Still a
on.
little scary
Because-
though.
Because the thing about Aya's skill 2 is at M3 it's 20 SP cost with a 20-second duration, but if you do any SP battery, it just refreshes with shield.
Got it.
At least from my experience. So that's what I'm going to say for this talent one as well.
Okay.
Here's a module.
Increases
target heals.
the
You get a
barrier.
oh, okay, the shield is getting thicker.
Okay. Alright, what's next?
Next is
Okay.
more of a reduce, and you get more SP.
Okay.
Not bad, not bad.
I do at least like the fact that the healing increases if they're under the effect, so at least it kind of works. The increasing healing, yeah. So, alright.
And then there is a summon involved with the medic.
Wait, melee?
Uh,
Oh, that's the summon, right? Oh
Yep.
my god, I didn't realize. I got confused for a second. I was like, what the fuck?
Ooh.
Yep, melee tile medics. We're doing everything today.
Okay, no, hold up. The summon's okay. There's a summon. All right, let's do the skills first and go
Yeah,
back to
let's
summon.
come
'cause
back.
Without
Yeah.
without the skills,
Well,
you
there's
don't
gonna be
understand.
another one, so we'll come back and visit. the summon.
Seraphim. Oh, you got that whole thing going on.
Yep. All right, so S1.
What the?
Okay, give it S1. S1. Why do I feel like S1 is just like Aya S2 to a degree?
I see this more as
It's like Aya S2.
the
light.
the 5-star berries,
Mhm,
but incredibly
Yeah.
good.
mhm.
Yeah, it's
Well,
fine.
It's with the talent you become Aya Berry S2 light.
I would disagree because the shield is different than elemental damage recovery.
I'm just worried.
No,
'cause
I'm
it's a
saying that
summon.
because the talent 1 gives them a shield when the skill is activated, and it's
Yeah.
persistent, so you can just kind of slap a shield on everyone in range, assuming they
Yeah.
I
can
guess
counter.
that's fair.
That's more the grind. I don't have any problems with the skill itself. The problem
Oh,
is
I
when it
do.
pairs with talent. That's when I start going.
No.
I see.
I feel like you need to realize though that this isn't because okay, I'm using the 5-star berries as a metric for like a baseline right now because that's what we started with.
Yeah.
And the berries, I use both of them, and their skill 1 just only increases only ever just increases the elemental damage healing. Okay,
Oh, this buffs the healing effect. Oh.
this is healing, but this is 200%.
So Bigly heals. Bigly heal situation.
Bigly heals. So
Bigly
put it this way,
heal.
Mulberry hits one person and gets 180, but it's only for the elemental, and she gets 2 charges. Honeyberry heals 2, but she only gets 100%, and it's still only elemental.
Mental.
This girl gets both 280% and 3 charges and gives a fat fucking shield.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about when I saw the S1.
It's
Or not
5
the
SP
S1,
by the
talent
way.
one.
This is 5
Yeah.
SP. This is
This-
unbelievable.
This is what I was worried about when I saw the talent 1. Like, if all the skills are like, oh yeah, it takes a long time, it takes like a decent amount of time to activate the skill so you're not slapping on everyone, I would have been more okay with it. But with that S1, it's like, this is what I was worried about. This is what I was concerned of. I will say this is going to be a really interesting S2 because medics tend to not summon summons that, like, aren't glorified gravels. No offense, Nightingale.
Let's try to read this.
So it's kind of like Nightingale, where they take cryo damage, and then oh, you have range shields. Okay, so this is M. Those are cherubins. You have
Is that a diamond range?
yeah, diamond range. The black talons, I'm assuming, are ones that don't get hit.
Okay, you can go back now.
So what is that? That's like barb range, right? Okay.
It also has shelter. I think, right? It's out the range.
Wait, is it a filter?
When an enemy attacks an operator outside the range, deal 10% less to attack. Yeah, shelter.
Functional
Basically.
shelter, yeah.
Functional shelter.
It's elemental redirect.
And
Okay,
then
so you have
redirect. Okay,
some
at least
here.
that's fair.
Not a lot of HP though, so only 1,000 HP and no defense, res, or blockout. So
Well,
it's,
but it's only elemental damage. That's why.
yeah,
So it kind of makes sense.
takes 5
damage.
damage. Burst 300.
Whoa. Okay.
That can be mitigated with because they only have 1,000 HP. So if they take one big hit, they just
No,
get
it's based
one.
on Sharice's.
Well, it's based on Sharice's attack, but it's if Cherubin takes damage 5 times, or if the
Yeah.
only burst is triggered on it. But if they get hit by one big attack, because look at their stats, they have no defense, res, or blocking. They just have 1,000 HP.
Yeah.
So if they get, and they have additional pump, so they're more likely to be shot. So it's like anything that hits
Okay,
hard
so
enough,
it
you just kind of
yeah.
explode. It doesn't. Do
It's also not gonna last very long.
no.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All operators.
And talent 1 is triggered before being removed from the. Yeah.
So it gives everyone in this diamond ass range that 500%. This is absurd. This is too much.
The only
I will
mitigating point
say-
is if they just explode to regular damage. Granted, more often than not, if we're assuming optimal usage, so you're not gonna explode to regular damage. Like I will.
Wait, this is attack recovery? You need to attack 25 times for this? Oh my god.
Wait, I just realized that.
Well, at least that's balanced then. At least the power has some degree.
So you just accept that you'll maybe use it once a game.
Basically.
well, that's not even true.
I don't think
This
people
is not true.
understand how long 2.85 seconds is.
Well, no, not even that though. Just use your SP batteries to use as busted ass, I suppose.
Lasat says he can sense the point in things, and I'm like, perhaps.
Hold on.
Chen
Firing
returns.
check.
Somehow Chen has
Yeah,
returned.
Chen. Oh my god.
Somehow Chen has returned.
I would just stick Liscarm next to her at all times.
Basically. You got a SP bat to some degree.
Or Warfare, and I don't give a shit.
Or
It's
Warfare,
the
yeah,
skill
you-
is so absurd that like it's worth it. The setup is worth it.
Liskarm keeps
Oh wait,
winning.
hold on. You don't have to worry about. You have to worry less about the cherubim explosion. Will you damage her range attacks or AOE explosions,
Yeah, okay, congrats. Now it's even better.
and it's immune to environmental damage.
Like,
Nice.
Lasa, I went
So-
to bat for you, dude. I was trying to be like, well, maybe not that
Yeah.
bad if it gets obliterated by a long day, and then it's like, nah, this is gonna end. Just
Okay.
like,
so
all right.
let me see if I get this straight. It is Silence's drone on crack cocaine, but elemental. And
Yes.
if you ever get this on the field and it dies once, for at least the next 30 seconds, you can safely assume nobody's taking an elemental burst.
Basically.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a little.
But
it
is
does take a lot of
this
the charge?
better than a S2?
S1 is basically AS2 but better. It's debatably on a shorter cooldown because you're never gonna have elemental damage proc off a single hit. At least we haven't had that so far.
Yeah, I will agree here. I think the S1 is better because A, it doesn't take forever to come up. B, it gives a massive shield on top of healing. Because remember, talent 1.
Oh right, talent 1.
And
Fuck.
the healing effect is ramped up. So what should be about a 500 heal is effectively becoming 1500 heals, no?
Something
Yeah.
like that. It's
Like I'm
Wait,
rounding
it's
for...
increased by? It's not increased to? Wait, holy...
Yeah, now you see why I'm worried about this, right? You don't. You would think sometimes you have to bring. Oh, I gotta bring double berry or like even triple berry, right? Sometimes this is you literally only need this character and you're set. You don't need another character.
How did you power creep Aya?
Yeah, you made Ayaberry look bad.
Well, how? No, but not
Okay,
like
now
this.
I'm scared because there's no skill 3 on the screen.
yeah.
Oh,
Here it is.
no.
Son of a. Okay.
There's a
Son of a
Yep.
gun.
There's a new
Let me just read
It's
it.
attack recovery and it's 40 SP.
Let's just.
But yeah, let's it says increased by 200%. I'm not sure if that's an ESL moment or if that's intentional, but unfortunate. But
It's
yeah,
it's
we gotta,
either she
unfortunate.
heals for double or triple. So in this case, you made it triple.
yeah. Again, it is sometimes it happens like that. If it's an ESL moment, it's what happens. But we have to take
I'm
what's
a bit-
written.
I'm gonna be real with you. Even if we reverted to what he intended, it's still
It's still,
ridiculous.
yeah, it's still a little
Yeah.
scary.
It's still
Yeah,
stupidly
It's
OP.
slightly less scary,
Wait.
but it's still.
Wait.
Anywho,
Chat, is this a helicopter?
Hold up.
we'll
Oh,
see.
she has a gun?
She's a Thonka. Of course she has a gun.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't register in my head. Sorry.
Thonka, of course she got. Now I'm just imagining her shooting it out, like going heal.
Sorry,
heal,
Wookie.
heal.
Do me a favor, please.
Two-
Go back to the Seraphim. I want to see the Seraphim range.
Yeah, there you go. Same range.
Oh, it's the
Two-
same. Oh, it's all the
two-
same. Okay, never
Same
mind. But
range,
it's
just
melee
different,
and range tiles. It's
yeah.
melee and range tiles.
Yeah,
That's what I
melee and
remember.
range at its apparently has an attack interval. So
To
Okay.
be fair, Calcit shoots people with a gun to heal them.
That is fair.
yeah, but as far as I can tell with Sancta, their guns are guns.
Okay. So
Yeah, but it shoots
Wait,
healing
hold up,
bullets.
I'm going to hold on. Let me. I'm gonna take over for a second. I'm gonna read this out. This is a minute-long skill. Okay. Every
40 SP.
1.5 seconds, Seraphim's healing for triple of Ceres' attack, which is going to be 1500. So it's a 1500 heal every 1.5 seconds for 60 seconds. Bear in mind, this is also proccing talent 1. So that means everyone in that diamond will effectively never take elemental damage, be almost unkillable,
Yep.
and this is a deploy.
So what's this? So what's supposed to be the second part of the skill 3 then? Does that like just not exist because of the talent 1?
If an enemy, that's true at that point. It's like how. Actually, yeah, how would they
Wait.
trigger elemental burst?
Oh hey, after this, it's okay. It has a downside. After the skill ends, she'll be stunned for 5 seconds. Wow,
now it's all balanced. You're right.
Honestly,
Let
the
me-
downside is more the 25 attack. It's 40
Dude.
SP, but all attack recovery.
I'm gonna be real with you.
That's
The
about
downside should be the. Sorry, go on.
the downside, as far as I can tell, is you have to heal that many times to activate it. It's not a big downside, but look, at this point, like, the man needs some help so he doesn't get absolutely kneecapped, only halfway kneecapped for Lasan at this point. I'm trying to help him out here.
My
this
brain-
isn't a helicopter. It's a medevac. Yes.
I want to say real quick. I just registered what Boop was saying a minute ago. Yeah, that second part of the third skill doesn't exist.
It doesn't
Pretty
do
much.
anything. I'm like,
It's de facto does not
trigger.
exist.
Never gonna trigger.
If an enemy somehow gets through the shield, they deserve to win the game. You lose.
if someone, new condition, if they proc elemental burst, you lose the map, just instant.
Yeah, that should be the skill. It's infinite duration. If you ever get elemental bursted, you automatically lose the map. Like fuck you. You've
That's
somehow
on
fucked
you.
up. What's on you?
Specifically, you lose 30 life points so you can cheese IS2 with it.
No, you just lose the map straight up.
No, like game's over. Your game uninstalls actually.
Uninstall.
It wipes your account.
Because just bear in mind, like at least with Ayaberry, her skill 3 is global, but she has to like wait a decently long skill time to use it again, right? It's got a long cycle. This skill 3 basically says, first of all, it's only 40 SP and it's attack recovery, so Chen, you can use funny little mechanics, right? There's pretty good ways to get around it.
Shu Exodia.
But regardless of that, regardless of all that, this is such an absurd fucking skill. Because even with Aya's skill 3, you can get killed. You can get bursted. There is a universe. And Aya is very vulnerable. If Charisse is in the same range as Seraphim, I can't imagine a universe where Charisse ever dies. Unless they get like one tapped by like, you know, I don't know, fucking Patriot Spear or something.
So what you do is you put Aya and Charisse on the field and you just never die.
If you somehow lose a Seaborn stage with both of these on the map, you don't deserve to play the game at all.
The game just removes all the operators
Yeah,
from your account.
yeah, at that point, just uninstall.
Like I literally can't imagine how you lose elemental maps with these two or like just this character active. It's quite absurd.
It'd be like that sometimes. Alright, let's not turn the Sancta into glue as well. Alright, let's do lore and lore. They help keep the victim of caffeine test alive.
This was just all a big brain plan between the last submission and this submission.
We found the use.
The count?
Christ
Who's the
almighty.
count? Oh, the count Mercedes, I see. Okay.
Fucking Christ almighty. Oh.
She's a veteran workaholic? That means she needs the caffeine. No wonder she heals so
This
much.
makes so much sense all of a sudden.
Did you two
Wait,
collab on this by chance?
we need to bring back caffeine and ask, is the health loss considered elemental damage? And if so, does this work? Okay, I'm done.
Alright.
I can't take this
Let's
seriously.
That's not rude. For what it's worth, like, she seems like a very pleasant person.
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm getting into lore. She does seem
Yeah.
like a very pleasant person.
yeah.
Alright. Are we ready to go on lore page 2?
Yes.
Oh god.
Oh, it's been a minute since I laughed that hard during an OC contest. I'm sorry, Lasat. But
I think it's because when we did the math and we clocked it in our heads, that's what we got.
wait a minute.
Like, listen, I'm already coping hard for the 5-star berries. You don't need to make it worse.
Hey. Fuck, did I forget her name? I forgot her name. It's not Mulberry. Honeyberry.
Oh,
Honeyberry is great, alright?
No, I have a pot 6 honeyberry. Trust me, I know.
Let's go, Pot 6 Honeyberry Brothers!
It's just like, it's so hard.
You ready to go on to voice lines?
Yeah, honestly, at this point, yeah.
Alright, medkits, you ready for deadpan voice lines?
Medic Operator Charisse at your service. My codename, Mercedes. Apologies, I meant the count. Insist that my codename be Charisse. I hope my name's not proved to be a hindrance during our cooperation. Go forth and find your own reason. Those were words she left me when she gifted me these drums. I realized she wants me to help others, not because of what she taught me, but it was what my heart truly felt. I've always let others answer for me, whether it be my master or a firm belief in the reunion movement. Now I've found my own answer. I've decided I want to help others. I've always believed that it does not matter if they are sarcastic or infected. Being one never dictated that they are evil or unworthy of help. It makes no difference who was the one that showed me the truth. Toronto? No, I've never been there, although I don't believe there's anything preventing me from going there. Closest I've been to it were the barren lands there, with transporting supplies or treating the injured there. I've never enjoyed staying there. To show service and kindness is to be met with hostility, presumably out of fear or even rage. A sad but understandable reaction to a Sancta. I hope I don't have any further inquiries from the medical department. I'm aware that a light of healing with mystical healing properties would intrigue them, but I don't know any more than they do. All I know is that when I see someone's pain, something within me stirs and I can mend their wounds. Regardless, I still have to satisfy the curiosity since this is part of our agreement. I keep forgetting this person's Sancta. Okay, let's just go to judging. I think we
Let's
need
go
to do
to
this.
judging. Still can't believe we went back. We managed to go from, I mean, we kind of backed back there. We went from how to die as quick as possible to how to live as quick as possible.
or just never die. Yeah. But anyways, boot.
Ooh, start us off.
All right.
Foster.
Lore is very underwhelming. I'll give it a 1. Cohesion is fine. Like, barring balance, it's pretty good. I'll give it a 2. Balance, bigly heal. I'll give it a 0.5. Like, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. If this was a real operator, I would be scared as to what the next event would have. As for the kit, on whether it's refreshing or not, and if it's like newish, it's just bigly heal. It's just 1.5. You know, it's just like, oh, it's just a different take on a wandering medic, but not out there.
Mhm.
Oh.
Sorry, what was the point for it?
1.5.
1.5.
Just
Alright.
You met the mark on like, hey, this is a wandering medic, you know?
There's a 5 from Boop.
Oh, that's right. I need to make a meme.
Oh dear.
Okay, while he's doing that. Lore, as always, I'm pretty chill as long as it does the job. I think this one is actually a bit more fleshed out, and I liked it a bit more towards the second part where it talks about the medical journeys you're on, which kind of fits the character, and it's wandering medic. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. I'll give it a 2. I actually like the lore quite a bit. I also like the whole sync that isn't just killing people, so it's kind of a nice twist. All right, so the kit is interesting. We have medic with drones. Fair enough. This is absurd. You have somehow made Ayaberry look unnecessary. Lasat, I love you, man, but this is this is too much. I will at least give Kit 1.5 because it is at least refreshing. Like it's got some cool ideas, like a medic that's more based on the drones and the playstyle of it, like ignoring all the numbers and talents. This at least looks cool enough, right? Balance. I'm sorry, this is the only 0 I'll ever give. This is a straight 0. This is dog. Like, you're out healing Telopsis, my man. On some cases, like that's ridiculous. And then the cohesion, I'll give you that much. At the very least, it all kind of fits together like a Lego piece. You know, like not Lego pieces, puzzle pieces. It all kind of does work together. And like, okay, cool, like drones, and the drones proc to talent, so at least I'll give you that one. So that's a 1. Because at least it all kind of fits together. But it does fit into the game as a whole, but I wouldn't give you the baseline because of just how absurd everything is.
Understandable. We've seen our first, I believe, this will probably go under helicopter here of oh my god. But
don't you mean medevac?
Yeah, like my last statement
medevac.
is like Lasat, I think you had the right idea. You just went. Your talent numbering and the interactions you had was just so absurd that you could unironically like dunk everything to like 30% out of what it currently is, and it'd be fair because of all the ridiculous nature of like the interactions going on.
I will start with the positives, which is the kit itself, because I like what you're trying to go for here. As a concept and an idea, I think this is pretty cool. The execution is where it didn't just fall flat. Like, the execution caused, like, a 50-car pileup on the freeway. But I'll give you 1 point. I'll give you 1.5 for the cohesion. For at least the kit itself being interesting. You know what? I'll be nice. I'll give you like a 1.8 to like kind of pad you a little bit because, we'll do the next okay part, which is lore. I didn't mind the lore. I think the lore was solid. I actually didn't mind the lore, and like Megan said, it's like, oh my god, it's a song to healer that's actually playable. That don't just go around shooting people. You're just obliterating wounds, but you know, that's a different story. So I'll give this a 1.6. All right, now for the bad part. Brace thyself. Balance. Yeah, no, I think this is gonna be the first 0 for balance I give out. Like, I don't think I've given out a 0 for balance until now, where I'm just like, Nah, dog, I'm so sorry. I can't in good conscience be like, yeah, there's something redeeming, but it's like, no, dude, I was trying to bat for you, man. I went
The
to
only
bat for you.
thing, the only thing that's redeeming are the base stats.
Dude, I went to try to bat for you, and oh my god, dude, like, not to mention, the talent 2 just doesn't get triggered. Like, on god, the talent 2, I swear to god, just doesn't get triggered. So it's like, I can't in good conscience give any points for the balance on this one. For the kit itself, for the cohesion, I'll give you something for the cohesion of what you're trying to go for. Like, I can see the central idea. I can see that. So I'll give you I'll give you a point for that. But yeah, dude, I'm sorry. The balance just, the numbers were not there. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. So it comes out to a 13.9 overall.
I'm so sorry. You really had the right idea. You just
I like the concept.
you really made Berry look bad.
I like the concept. Everything else after that, unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd give a 0 tonight, but
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lasant. The numbers sometimes be like that, though. That is just... Ooh. But again, learning experience. Learning experiences. Alright, who do we have next?
at the very least, as he goes on, at the very least, take pride in knowing you had a cool idea.
Okay, so next up is Lazy Couch with Absconder. Let me make sure I have the right one. Alright, there we go. Let me do my updates as y'all can take a quick look at this. Okay. Got a Mucha. Or Solo Blade, technically.
I do like Mushas.
No, fuck Solo Blade. It's Musha.
It's a Mucha. A very tall.
Can we ding
Mucha.
ding a point for using the wrong archetype name? Is that a thing?
Yes, I'm knocking
We're
down a
not
point.
dinging. We're not dinging it. We're not
I don't know
dinging it
what
for
you're
using
talking about.
Solo Blade and not Mucha. That's a very
Okay.
tall cat. He is a very tall cat.
Anyways, yeah, very very tall Musha.
I don't know why they
Alrighty.
changed it from Mucha to Solo Blade. but
I think it's just because it's not very intuitive.
I guess, but it's like, eh.
Like, at least if you hear like, I don't know.
Can we get like a Solo Blade that doesn't use a sword so we can complain
Wait,
more?
could you go back real quick? Is this 6-star?
Yeah, 6-star.
6-star. Okay, cool. That's all. I
I'm
need.
still pissed that they changed out of like they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna change the Mucha name, but we're keeping fucking Push Stroker.
Sometimes you push, sometimes you stroke.
Alright, how are stats looking? Because we got Zola and
I'm using Helauger. I think Helauger is the most like baseline.
25 res. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's gotta say that's
I don't know where Lazy Couch is. I'm not sure why it says 23 at max pot. I'm assuming Obi accidentally copied the res. Actually, no.
Can
Wait.
I just?
This is what I double checked this like 4 times to be like, am I reading this right or am I crazy? But that is what it says. I am very confused as to why they lose 2 res.
Okay.
I'm assuming it should
okay.
be. I'm a little
Well,
confused, but
Well, for starters, getting res is already insane.
yeah.
Yeah. Getting res is already insane.
25 res.
Man.
I'm more baffled by the fact that they lose 2 res at max pot.
Sometimes you gotta give.
I'm assuming
It's
My-
it's
I'm
an
assuming
anti-whale
No, no, no,
metric.
no. You don't understand. The reason why they lose 2 res is so that they can get more attack speed when they take damage.
Can I
Oh,
just
you're
say
right.
also, I would kill to have any res on my Mushas. You don't understand how much I would love to have that kind of res.
Listen. I'm just trying to find the upside here. All right. I love Rathalos Corn, but plus 50% defense when you're getting lower and lower on HP is kind of like why.
At least Akafuyu makes sense when she does that.
Anywho, confusion aside, I'm assuming everything else is okay except the
Akafuyu
res.
doesn't get defense though, right?
I just want to make it clear to the audience, Mushas don't have res normally, so this is a
The standard
Yeah,
is
they
0.
they all have 0 res. They
They
all
all
have
have
0
zero.
res.
This
Which
is
is why when it
absurd.
goes from 25 to
and
it's confusing at 25, and the fact that it drops to 23 just adds more question marks.
and it's made worse because every other stat is fine. Like it's actually even like
Yeah.
the upper end of it. So this character
We're a
has
little
no
conf-
drawbacks.
I'm assuming the res should have been 0 and the DP cost is supposed to be 25 and 20. Like, I'm assuming it was just a miscopy.
I want to believe it must be a copy error.
But
Like,
unfortunately, the rule that we stuck with is if that's what it's. I mean, it's its own section. Like it goes. Like I'm looking at the form myself. It goes HP. It's its own block. Attack is its own block. Defense is its own block. Res is its own block. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't in good conscience let that slide. Like we have dinged people for things on that. So
because
unfortunately, this is how we have to interpret it.
okay, you have 25 res. Congrats.
Yup. I mean, again, it's you got to make sure you're entering correctly. Like
Okay.
that's on you at that
anyways,
point.
I mean, that's pretty baseline talent.
Pretty baseline talent one. That's not
Basic
surprising.
basic talent one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on
Skills
par
can
for the
be-
class.
Okay, 2 gets a little interesting.
Skills gonna use an HP is a dealt damage for 20 seconds. Value of 1 SP to 5%, 4.5 will be subtracted based on the SP to off. Oh, that's
So you can basically activate your skills a lot faster if you're trading
There.
HP for it.
there is some insane potential here.
Yup.
There
You
is
get more
ver-
attack
ve-
speed for when you pop it.
It is a very cool talent, but I am afraid of the implications.
Yeah, you can go
Yeah.
really crazy with this one. Let's see the skills before we go too long.
Interested and terrified at the same time. Here's our modules.
Okay. Oh, that's modules. Okay.
Yep.
25% sanctuary.
Deserter's
pretty cool.
desperation. Oh, that's the.
It's the
That's a
thing.
meme.
Yeah, the talent.
I see. I see. Okay. So pretty basic sanctuary
Two
or
is a
the
little,
revival.
The second mod is a little. You kind of got a bagpipe, or not bagpipe. You got a
Wait, hold on.
blaze / horn kind of thing going on.
It's the thing. I think a lot of other Mushas have this.
It's the you don't die.
It's-
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
don't die one. That's fine. But hold up.
I think
Wait,
it
hold
just
up.
means you're getting.
When HP is lowered and attack is increased. Okay, so 20%. Okay, it looks
Okay.
bad, but it's quite normal. This one's actually not
Yeah.
that bad.
Mhm.
It's
This one's
fine.
This one's fine. Yeah.
All right.
If anything, it's actually like close to Zwola's.
Mhm. Well, here's our skills. You'll be happy to know, Megas, that these are shorter skills.
Wait, just to be clear, it's 1 SP is 5%, right? On base, like assuming no crazy modules, right? It's just 1%, it's 5.
1 SP is equivalent to 5%.
And then 4.5 at pot 5. Okay.
Yeah, that's after.
So
you
I'm
get
gonna assume 5 because it's a 6-star. Not everyone's gonna have a pot 5 6-star.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, just take it as what it is, like, because
Yeah, I
we're
know.
assuming this is this is maxed out, but
Either way, it's
Yeah.
22 seconds essentially of
Yeah.
living without any HP gain.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So. Okay.
S1 is just double strike. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine for a
Let's
6-star
go.
first skill. That's fine.
Yeah.
Instantly-
2, but without the dodge.
Instantly perform 8 frontal slashes.
Slashing that up to 4 enemies. Damage taken from talent 2 is immediately taken instead of a 20-second duration of damage exceeds current HP. Oh, so basically, if you activate it too quickly,
Oh.
you just explode. But then you trigger. But then if you use the module, you can not immediately
No,
explode.
No, it won't. It won't activate if you kill yourself with it.
Oh, true.
If the damage
Yeah, that's
exceeds
true.
current HP, skill cannot be activated. So you actually can't
Oh,
spam
yeah,
this.
okay, never mind then.
And then,
The
but
range is only 2 tiles ahead, though.
And the thing is, it hits 8 times and you're healing, so there is. After a certain amount of enemies, you actually can't spam it.
Mhm.
And there's no risk because you literally can't kill yourself.
Mhm.
So it's interesting.
Assuming 4 enemies that each take 8 hits, you heal like 2100 HP, give or take.
Basically, it's functionally you do a good bit of damage and then you heal off of it. You get a decent heal off of it.
Yeah.
And it also has a slow effect. Sure, it's not a long slow, but
It's also not very expensive. You could just drop the character and do it immediately.
yeah, it's kind of just it's the one where you're not doing as much autos, if that makes sense. Like this is the like new damage with the skill as opposed to new damage with the auto.
Yeah.
And then you can emergency proc it too if you're like, oh crap, I need like 5 more SP or something.
I would kind of like it if the range was slightly bigger, but I could understand why it isn't. Because you could kind of say that this is basically Zulay S3, but different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't get shield, but you get a bunch of health back. Actually, not a bunch, but you get some health
You just
back.
get HP back. That's it.
you
Yeah.
get-
It's
Yeah, assuming max enemy density and max hits, it's 2100 HP
So
gained
basically,
back.
so honestly, it's pretty basic. Is what we looped
it's
around to be like.
it's basically a weaker version of Zola skill 3. That's all it is.
Got it.
And the different instead of a stun, you get a slow. That's
Yeah, you get slow.
pretty much
Is
exactly the same skill.
Is it weaker? It's
It is
kind
weaker.
of weaker.
You get
it
one less
hits-
slash.
One more slash with
yeah.
a lesser modifier, but one more enemy.
Yeah, okay, it's like on the brink, huh? But
Yeah.
It's like a different
I don't
flavor.
know.
Zulay has a stun though.
It's a different.
yeah,
Zola
that's a
S3.
stun. He gets a
The 5 second.
barrier, so he stays low HP.
It's also a 5 second
Yeah.
stun. Like it's a weaker Zola S3, functionally.
Yeah.
In terms of like raw damage and whatnot. So yeah, it's solid. It's like a different flavor. It's a different flavor of Lucia like slashy slash skill. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, I suppose that's fair. Wait, what is this one though?
It's the S3. So this is 25 SP cost.
Wait, so he has 2 tiles now.
So he attacks 2 target. Yeah, so he has an extra tile of range. Attacks it twice.
Exit twice.
You have more attack. Not a lot more attack. It doesn't increase by that much, but you know, Lucia's tend to. This is okay. So we're back to auto attacking here.
Half the damage taken from.
Attacks.
Wait. Okay, so it's just a steroid.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
steroid. Half the damage taken is.
This
immediately
is
taken.
it's like a different flavor of Hellauger skill 3.
Mhm. And you're okay. Basically, we have built in. Okay, you cannot explode yourself by accident.
Honestly, I would say it's better than Heliger's skill 3 because Heliger can, if he doesn't take damage, he just has less DPS.
No, yeah, I get the idea, but because he can, at least with this character, they can kind of just nuke their own HP intentionally.
Also, would like to add for S1, there is nothing that says you can't explode yourself, so you can actually explode yourself with S1.
It'd be kind of hard actually, right? Because you pretty much start with 1 SP, like on the dot. No?
True. I mean, unless you hit like you
I'm
have to
sure
hit
you
it.
could. It's
If
just
you're-
kind of like
If you're
you have
mashing
to
fast
actually
enough.
try.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'd have to really try.
it'd be pretty funny though. Just
Yeah.
like, oh crap. Actually, no.
I-
If you get necrosis proc and your SP drops to 0,
Okay, by that point you're taking damage already, so yeah, you're gonna die.
yeah. I'm just saying, you can do it on S1. That's what
Yeah.
makes it funny to me.
I like the talent. I just look because the talents
skills
are.
The skills are. Eh. I think, like. It doesn't. I would have liked to see a little bit more creativity stuff. I'd like to see a little more creativity out of the skills personally, as opposed to what we have here. Because to
Yeah.
me, like, I don't know, that doesn't. The talent 2 is kind of just. Actually, I mean, the talent 2 being like that is fine. Like, I actually don't mind it. I don't know, just. I think the balance is fine, actually. It's just. It's safe, I guess is the best way I would put it. It's a very
The
safe
way-
skill set.
Yeah, because like the way I see it from Lucia, at least when I use him, it's you always want to find that nice not soft point, sorry, that nice like point where it's like they do enough damage, they don't get killed in one shot, but they can always heal enough to tank the next shot,
Mhm.
right? I don't see how this like, cause okay, let's think like what Zola gets a barrier, so he stays low HP but gets a barrier. Cool, makes sense. Logger, solo lane holding, makes sense. Lots of self healing when he's not blocking. Da-di-da-di-da.
Mhm.
Akafuyu defense, tanky.
Mhm.
Norcorn kind of the same deal.
Mhm.
Mitage's arts. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah.
This one just feels like I kind of want to hurt myself, but then I also heal it up, and I kind of want to spam it. But spamming is irrelevant when all of these have a duration, except for
Yeah.
skill 2. But then skill 2 is also kind of like the only one that makes sense with talent 2.
Mhm.
1 and 3 are just. Yeah, go on.
I was saying, the way S1 and 3 work kind of work against the talent and just what you want to try to get with a new ship.
Yeah.
It's a little
There's-
counter synergy.
There's a reason why they changed Wola's skill tree to do barrier instead of healing.
Anywho, we ready to move on to lore then?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Let's go to lore. Double check.
People love Londinium.
There's a lot of Lindinium here. Did you all play like? Did you all do like chapter 14 beforehand? Hey, Lazy Couch. To give the quick TLDR of what we think right now, we think there's a bit of counter synergy, like counter synergy going on in your op. Is the TLDR for the balance? Skills also feel rather safe on the creativity side. Balance seems fine, but it's just the creativity seems on the safer side. That's the TLDR. But we're reading lore now.
Immortal? What's an immortal? I actually don't know.
There's a few immortal characters in AK lore. Is the
I
quick
see.
TLDR.
I see.
Are those like the actual like animals, like the duck?
No, there's just functionally people who are immortal.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm good.
By the way, Noel does show up, I believe, in chapter 13, and he is, yeah, he's rather immortal. But anywho, page 2. Let me know when we're ready to do voice lines.
The source of my arts is trauma. How incredibly edgy.
Bruh. He's listening to, like, what? Panic at the Disco. He's got his door closed. He's just sitting there crying. What the fuck is going on with this guy? It's not a phase, Mom. It's my trauma.
Oh my. How much combat experience does this guy have? 10 years?
He has
7.
7,
Does that
okay.
include his, like, time in the room just crying?
Great, we're bullying. Great.
Oh my god.
I'm not
I'm
bullying
bullying-
Lazy Coucher. I'm bullying the character.
No, I
It's
was
a
gonna
big
say we're
difference.
already bullying the character. Jesus Christ.
He deserves it, alright?
Christ. Alright, who's doing voice lines? Oh yeah, you actually. Oh yeah, you were like, oh crap.
Isn't it Poop's turn?
Is that a group
No,
of
I
me,
did
Andy?
it. I did the
No,
last
because
one.
you took my turn, so I did yours, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
good.
So it might be Boops, yeah.
Didn't I do the last one?
No, Medkit said the last one. Last one was the medevac.
Oh. Impressive. I lost less blood than usual on this battlefield. I'm gonna do the gremlin voice, I'm sorry. I lost less blood than usual on this battlefield. It must be thanks to your efforts, Doctor. Rhodes Island, I need your assistance. Let me join the fight to drive the Mad Devils out of my former home. Sorry, Doctor. Your touch, although appreciated, doesn't comfort me. Doctor, I am but a traitor, an injured soldier, unable to save those he needed to save the most. But Rhodes, they kept my brother alive and fought for my former home. I hope I can get rid of my guilt before being forced to betray the country I love. I hope I can find a new home in the place that fought for what I couldn't fight for. Doctor, I hope his sleep is well. Better than my nightmares, at least.
I just want to point out, Lazy Couch said he deserves it, so we're on the
Alright.
right path.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Let me give him a wedgie real quick.
Bruh.
Hold up, before you do anything, can you go back to skills so I can take a screenshot real quick?
Yeah, sure thing.
I need to screenshot this so I can talk about it. Alright, I'm good. Thank you.
Alright, cool. Alright, Hoop. Lead us off.
Alright. The lore is I am whelmed. Have a 1.3.
Uh,
Alright. It's certainly a way to start it. Carry on.
For the cohesion integration, I would say it's okay. It's not like amazing, but it's just like it's fine. So I'll give it a 1.5. For the balance, I'll also give a 1.5. Like both balance and cohesion is just like, oh, you hit the mark. That's really about it. I don't really have any glaring issues per se. And for the kit, there was a box. You stayed in the box, and that's about it. So I'll give it a 1. Like Zuikaku has mentioned this multiple times, but the Musha archetype has so much untapped potential that I'm very disappointed that you stayed inside the box, which is why I'm giving you a 1 on the kit.
5.3 from the boop. Alrighty. Medkits.
Okay, I think for lore, you just made an edgy soldier from Victoria, which, you know, isn't bad, and it was honestly kind of funny, so I'll give you a 1.5 baseline.
1.5 baseline, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, so I love the Musha archetype. I agree with Boop. I think the ones we have are fine, but we could do so much more, you know? I would love to see, I would love to see like a resistance version, right? Not just Utage, but like something like arts or anti-arts, anything out of the crazy. So when I saw your talent, I was like, oh, okay, he's cooking something. Then nothing happened. I feel it's kind of weird to have duration skills when you're I feel like the talent 2 leads me to believe you're going to, what's the word I'm looking for? You want to encourage them to spam and drop their HP, which fits with the Musha class. That's great. And I think the talent itself is refreshing, but your skills are all incredibly boring. There's nothing here that makes me think, ooh, I can't do that already, you know? So I feel like it's a 1 for Kit, just because there's nothing actually interesting coming out of it, and it's all just that talent 2, which we didn't end up using, pretty much. It feels more like when I don't want to time my skills properly, or at least I don't want to get like the specific timing, or I just want to maybe lose my health a bit faster, like Akafu's skill 2. That's about it. Maybe I can see that kind of working out, but I would have liked to see more with the HP loss mechanic, or like using skill points to HP, maybe like an active skill 2 was on the right. I think skill 2 was on the right track, kind of like a mini Zola skill 3. Low SP cost, a little bit weaker, but you can kind of spam it, and you're not as punished if you do it right with the right enemies. That was kind of cool. So I'll give you balance, probably like. I'll give you also baseline 1.5. You didn't really leave the box; you just kind of stayed there.
The box is safe. The box is comfy.
The box is safe. Yeah, the box is safe. And I think ignoring everything else and my personal belief on Musha in terms of cohesion and integration, it fits. This is Musha. You lose HP, you get HP. You lose HP, it's the endless cycle, ideally. And it's super safe. If you put this into the Arknights game right now, it would fit. And people would just go, this is just Helogger and Zwola, but like down the road a little bit.
Down the road a little bit.
Yeah, so it technically fits, and technically it works. It's just, like Boop said, incredibly baseline. It does nothing with the Musha archetype that we haven't already seen. So it's going to be another. I'll give it a 1, actually. You could have done more with that talent too, I think. I think you're on the right idea with maybe like an instant activation skill, but then only one of them is actually an instant attack.
Gotcha. So that is a 5 from Medkits. Collective agreement of you stayed in the box, which is understandable, but it's OC contest. You have room to play around.
Yeah.
You have a lot of room to play around a bit. Like, we've seen some pretty creative kits that come out.
Oh,
Anywho,
I almost dropped all my coins.
don't drop all your coins. So anywho, I'll start with lore. The lore is it's solid. It's solid. I'm whelmed by the lore, the LDR. Because I'm whelmed. It's nothing crazy, but it's not out of the ordinary. It's like, yeah, again, it doesn't make me go, oh my god, either, right? Guideline. So, kit. The kit, I was interested in what you could do with that S2, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, you can do some crazy stuff with Musha, like try to balance a thing. And then it's like, and then I look at the skills, I'm just like, it's very safe. Where it's like, there's not necessarily anything wrong with being safe with it, but it's just, I would have liked to see a little more, right? But I will be a little more lenient with it because, like, there's nothing wrong with a save kit. You're just not gonna get bonuses off of it. So I'll give you like a 1.3 or something. As for the balance, they're balanced. I think they're balanced. The balance is fine. So I actually have no problem with the balance. It's just they're a balanced operator. So I will give it, again, I'll give it a 1.5. Like you hit the baseline. But nothing in this particular makes go, oh, that's a really cool way of doing this and having it be balanced, right? Like, there's nothing that makes me like go, ooh, like, right? My eyes go, ooh, I gotta focus on that. Like, that's kind of what I'm missing. Like, again, the power level's fine. They're balanced. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you've done it, right? You've done it. And then finally for the cohesion, personally, I think there's a little bit of anti-synergy between like the skills and the talents, where it's like it doesn't quite work as well as I hoped it would work out for. So the cohesion's a little bit shaky there. I'll give it a 1.3 again for cohesion. So comes out to a 5.6 for me overall. We have a Medkit's Cowl this time. $15.9. Alright, so that puts you... Started out with pretty high points, and oh boy. Y'all's SGL practice really did nuke your... really did hurt a little bit this time around, huh? Alright, next up is Sir Quacker. With...
Let's go.
Sir Quacker
Quacker?
says, I can't hear anything right now, so I may need to be pinged for questions or to go ahead and assume.
Alright.
We will assume.
Ambrose
Oh,
will
it's
be
a
happy.
5-star.
Ambrose will be happy as an 8.
5-star
like
agent.
it.
Let's
He's an
go. Minus Forte. Yes.
Asa will be happy with that too.
An actual minus, that's nice to see. Or, yeah. Forte.
The real question is, do they get buffed by Palace?
Let's hope. Alright, we can move on, I guess. Agents, Contemplate, and...
Yeah, Kanta, Puzzle, but Puzzle welfare tax is real.
I think Puzzle's
Puzzle
fine,
is
to be honest.
Puzzle's fine.
Yeah.
It's really just the S2 that I think got welfare tax in those. I think they could have given it a little more.
It's fine.
I want to use it without. I want to use the S2 without having a freaking bagpipe to make it functional. Anywho.
3 stats at once. Oh wait, that's from Pot. Never mind.
Pot.
Okay, a
Yeah, there's
little
two
interesting.
Then we have pots.
Honestly, it's fine. These are fine.
Yeah, that's fine
I
then.
have yet to find
Anything. that
any
makes it
stats
go.
that are problematic, except for the 25 typo, but that's a different case.
No.
Yeah.
No. What about the extra thick tactician?
Yeah, that one was funny too, actually.
All right. What do we got?
Did.
This gains 30% of stats. This unit
Hold
gained
up.
from stealing. Okay, so they have some form of stat steal.
Okay, so we need to see the skill before we do anything then.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's when they get retreat. So when this operator is retreated, the next operator, the next melee, well, actually not even melee, just grounds out. So hypothetically, we can make Ella work on this, or
Yeah.
minus Steam shenaniganry, but gains.
Crab Masters, yeah.
Yep. Actually, just Ella. I think Ella's the only one that can
Wait.
deploy a low ground.
Oh, I see. So all their stuff is. I see. That's where it's coming from.
Here's so skill is 50 SPD. Lose 5 SPD every sec. So you basically have 10 sec. Okay, so basically just the duration of skill.
Then you
Stealing defense.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I need to look at Kanta S1 just real quick.
Kanta S1 is an attack speed, and you just generate DP off of it.
It's just attack.
There's no
not
steal.
attack speed.
Oh, it's attack for Kanta S1?
It's just attack.
It's-
It's a raw
oh,
attack.
okay.
Yeah.
It's 20
It's-
DP versus 10 DP. Well, it's more than 20 DP because of her talent, but it's
Yeah.
essentially 10 DP and what? 30%, so 120 defense for the next operator.
Assuming you
Which
actually
is,
get all 400.
Yeah.
yeah, assuming you get all 400.
I mean, with that attack speed, you should be able to get it.
Yeah, cause you can get it at base ace anyway, because it's a 1.0 attack interval. So the ASPD just basically guarantees it, assuming the enemy just doesn't fall over immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you basically get. I mean, again, you're gonna have a lot more than 10 attacks with that ASPD, because you're gonna go pretty.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more than 10
Yeah,
attacks.
that's fair. That's
So
fair.
you should be able to generate more than 10 DP. But the defense capping is fine. So I think
Yeah.
skill one's fine.
Yeah, for a 5-star, it's amazing, actually.
It's actually really good. It's actually a pretty good trend.
Yeah. What was
Speaking
this?
of the 120 defense, because let's just assume it's the cap that it's you get the 400, right? Putting that on like a Quora, oh man, that would get out of hand really fast.
Yeah.
Good.
Or like it would help meet a lot of the guards meet the threshold for Ock as well.
Yeah.
Mix things up a bit.
But-
But yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
what's
I
this?
like it. I like it.
Immediately
Uh,
dash 3 times.
so you.
Oh.
That's a
Huh?
pretty big range for a dash. So
Yeah.
hold on. What I'm still trying to figure out is, do you stop on that tile, or is it just like hua hua hua? Actually, I don't see a skill duration, so I'm assuming it's just like you do a 1, 2,
Instant.
3. So
Wait. You can.
steal 50 attack.
So you need to use it 3 times, otherwise you don't get the full attack steal.
Yeah.
Generate one. So first dash generates 3 additional DP and stuns the target. So basically you get. Okay, I'm still trying. Okay. So you basically.
Okay, let's just.
What? So I'm assuming that each dash is just the attack interval. That's how I'm just gonna function off of it.
I'm under the assumption it's one attack that's 3 hits.
Yeah, that's what it feels like too.
Okay.
Okay, let's just translate it in our heads. Immediately hit an enemy 3 times within in a range.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the dash is flavor here, because if they're actually moving, that's absurd.
I'll just Team Quacker here.
Are you moving? That's what I need to know.
Yeah. Okay, is Mercury moving? Is Mercury moving and stopping on a new tile for S2? Because
Like, it says dash 3 times, but the first dash is the only one that stuns, and then what happens to the next 2? Like, are you just chilling?
also just, is each dash 1 attack, or is each dash 3, or is it 3 attacks? Yeah, like
I'm so confused by this skill, actually.
the wording on the skill confused me a bit.
It's
not
like
gonna
10
lie.
skill 3. Okay, so it's just flavor text. Alright, cool.
Oh, okay, so it's like Genesis.
It's just flavor text. Alright, cool. It makes it easier on us.
Oh, okay, so it goes like 1, 2, 3, and then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just flavor text. It's fine.
So you generate. So each attack generates 1 DP. So you generate 3 DP. So you can do what? 6 DP? 6 DP. You steal 150 attack.
3. And then yeah, and then you have to do it 3 more times to get the full value.
Okay.
Technically, you don't have to, but you'd rather get the full value
Okay.
for the attack.
So 30 SP to do the whole attack. So I'm assuming it's just instant. Okay.
And then you get 30%, right? The next operator.
Yup.
Time. Okay.
So you grant 135 to the
90,
next melee operator,
135,
or the next
yeah.
round operator.
That's pretty good, actually.
Pretty good. That's pretty solid.
For just DP gem and then get a free 135. That's not bad.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty decently high attack.
What's nice is because the range is so ridiculous on that skill, you don't have to worry about positioning nearly as much.
Yup. A little bit. I'm less sold on the range, but I'm like, it's just not a biggie.
It's not crazy at the very least.
Yeah, it's not a biggie, but it's a little bit like a little bit of a thunk. Also, I'd like to add, at least with S1, you can give a Crusher defense. I don't know why, but you can give a Crusher defense
Let's go.
Wait, you can give a Crusher defense?
because they're gaining stats.
Yeah.
They're stealing as base stats.
Yeah.
Press one.
Who gives it?
Oh, you're right.
You can give your Opiatus defense. I don't know why, but you would give your Opiatus defense.
I mean,
S2 would make wind chimes buff army even better. Let's go.
Nice. Somewhere Avalon is going like quartz buff. All right.
Yeah.
It's interesting at least. Because we've been seeing an influx of operators that steal stats. You know, we just got Naya,
Yep.
but now we're on Tuya. But
Man, I love that horse. Anywho, ready to go to lore?
yeah, let's go on.
All right.
Yeah.
I believe they're Sargoni. Oh no, Minos, right? Okay. What do we got? Okay. Let me know when you're ready to go to patient.
I am ready.
I'm good.
Let's see. Oh, so we got some lines here. Alright. Let me know when we're ready to go to voice lines.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm ready.
Medkits, ready to go on next one?
Oh, I'm good.
Alright. Wah.
What the?
Don't worry,
I'm
you two
not
are safe
reading
because
this.
I'm reading this.
I'll be honest. Do we have to read this? This will take us.
I'm slowly side-eyeing Quacker of if voice lines ever get limited to word count in the future, I want everyone to side-eye Quacker right now.
Let's see.
Everyone's if there's a word limit on voice lines in the future, you know who to blame. I usually don't put one because I don't expect insanity, but here we are. Hello again, Doctor. Looks like I'll be a partner of yours in 2 business now. I don't suppose you could guide me to your logistics department as well as this procurement department? Anyway, those departments determine my allocated budget and resources, right? I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do, and I'd like to get things done by the book. Oh, and good to be working with you, Doctor. Again. Doctor, please look over this transaction request from Inam. She's asking for 2 crates of serum, preferably this size, over a 10-day period, while offering up to 40 steel sheets about this thick and this wide refined bars steamed Zumama. Well, you don't have to sign anything else. I just wanted your opinion as one of Roadside's figureheads. Well, I'm going to show this that scary feline now, and then the adorable one before I go get all this signed off in the logistics procurement department. Don't worry, as cute as she is, I take all my partners seriously to a degree. This is some fine Minoan wine. Home still does it best. Oh, Doctor, excuse me for drinking on the job. I can't help it when good wine is offered by fellow Minoans. Do I look rather sober to you? I guess you could say that, but I could never be confirmed to be sober when I'm the one that is drunk. However, being able to drink and keep a clear mind is very useful for jobs. Would you like to see if you have this talent, Doctor? Doctor, if I could inquire about your time in Minos. Alright then, it's a deal. You answer all my questions and I'll answer as many questions as I've asked. What was the purpose for your visit? Oh, the interlocking competition. I remember that on schedule when I... Who introduced you to this competition given its exclusivity? Ah, Sidoroka, that makes sense. She's quite the procedural one. And who else? Pardon me for interrupting, but you're about to mention a second person. Alice. Wait, give me some time to process that. You know what? Put it on my tab. I'll answer 2, no, even 3 questions another time. I'll just get busy with some work. Oh, Doctor, I apologize. Was I that out of it? Cash again? Oh, right. A deal is a deal. Ask away. Family's business. You're one ruthless... My family deals in trading both in and out of Minos. We're taught both our own and other countries' economies. What else? Bluntly, it was for fame. I was infatuated with stories of the 12 heroes and I strove to have myself recorded in history like them. Last question, Doctor. What I want to do now, I want to be able to connect people together through trade. Business should help to bring society together, not segregate ourselves. That's my promise, even if it is rooted in family hatred. I'm gonna side-eye you. Like, bro, we better have a yapathon with the old well at the rate we going.
Yap session alert.
Yapathon. Alright. Points time! Oh, Medicus, do you want skills? First screenshot or?
Yeah.
Alright, there you go.
I always kind of have to do that. Alright, I'm good.
Alright. Alright, Poop, kick us off for the last one of the night.
Lore felt very word vomity. I'll give it a 1.3. For kit, I like the kit. It's definitely a different take. You stayed in the box while also putting you poked like a toe outside of the box, right? Because you took other mechanics, combined it with. I mean, to be fair, I think Inez started it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, it's nice. I like it. So I'll give the kit a 2. Balance, I like the balance. I think the balance is... Honestly, I would say the balance is perfect. I'll give it a 3. Because the thing is, you're giving stats to someone, but those stats can only go so far. Like, it's 135 attack, 120 defense, and that can change things, but it doesn't change things too much to the point where it's just like, oh, this operator's omega broken. Like, but it's just like, for example, I brought up Aura with the plus 120 defense. Cora's not powerful because of the plus 120 defense. Cora's powerful because she's Cora, right? The 120 defense just enhances her, right? And then you have the and so the talent with the skills just working in tandem, it's so fluid in the sense that I completely forgot what the talent was, right? I'm like, hey, what's the talent? And I'm like, no, that's what the stat transference is, right? Like, it's that fluid, right? And so for the cohesion integration, right? Like the I would say the same, right? I sort of like bounced into cohesion integration already, so I would put a 3 on that as well.
Okay.
Like, I just think that the balance and the cohesion there is just very insanely well done. Because it's not like, what do you call it? Because you also have an incentive to keep this operator out with skill 2 and skill 1, right? Because with skill 1, you can be like, okay, I have the stats, but I need them to tank a little bit more, and the extra defense is going to help with that. Oh, for skill 2, I might need a little bit more damage, and the extra attack is going to help with that, you know? Like, it's just really, really nice, you know? Because that's the thing about Vanguard, is that after you're done DP genning, it's just like, oh, why are they here? You know, other than being an extra body, right? But there's a reason to keep this Vanguard out, right?
Got it.
Yep, so that's a 9.3 out of who?
Lore was too much.
Laura Subai. Next
No,
time,
I said in the beginning, man, I'm not a lore guy, and if I have to like, I can spend an eternity reading that, I'm not a fan. At the very least, what I did read, or kind of skimmed through, to be honest, it worked out. I'll give it a 1. Just too much. It's a lot of fluff, and the fact that the voice lines was as long as lore is insane. But that's just me. I have one question I completely forgot to ask, but so when they give the stats, it's just permanently on that tile, or is it just next operator on that tile?
The talent is when retrieving the next operator deployed on a ground tile, excluding this unit, gains 30% of stats rounded down from this unit.
Okay, so it's any tile.
Yeah, any tile.
Okay, so it's even stronger than I thought it was. Okay.
Yep.
They don't generate crazy amounts of DP, this operator. which is fine because I think
This is more
Cantabile and
puzzle
Puzzle,
Yeah.
yeah, Puzzle and Cantabile generate a ton of DP. Cantabile is probably the most consistent. Puzzle is a bit more arts damagey, which kind of makes up for it. And this specific operator is leaning towards the not much DP gen. Oh, actually, skill one's pretty good, but not crazy amounts of DP gen, and pretty decent stat transferring, which is nice actually, and it kind of works with the agent archetype, which is nice because agents come and go, right? As they are go, but also kind of counterintuitive because you kind of want them to stay there now.
Yeah.
To get the skill. So it's a little bit of a both worlds. I think skill one's definitely the easiest to use, by all means, because it's passive. You just drop him and then undeploy and put someone else in. So it's definitely good. But yeah, so for starters, I think I already said Lore was one. I think the kit's definitely interesting. It fits the agent playstyle. It's kind of cool to see the stat stealing actually be useful now for more than one person. I'll give it like a 2.4, honestly. It's pretty solid. Kind of feel like I'm only really digging you because skill 2 is a pain in the ass to understand. Second, and the range feels a little unnecessary because you don't that just seems weird. I don't know what's going on there. But other than that, balance. Honestly, balance is great. This is pretty on par what you would expect for a balanced operator. I'll give it a 3. It's pretty much what you expect from a 5-star agent. Stats aren't gonna break the world. You're never gonna see anyone go, "Thank God I got that 100 defense from this operator." You're never gonna hear that, but you will go, "You know what? Kind of nice." It's nice to have, exactly. And the fact that you balanced it by making it only ground tiles really helps because any range top who gets it would love to have that more so than the ground tile units. So even when Ella gets it, you're not going to break the game, but it's nice to have it. So you're not really hitting anyone too much in terms of like the OP hammer. Yeah, I already mentioned it. Cohesion integration. This is pretty much like agent gameplay. It's pretty much peak agent gameplay. The only one that still don't like is skill 2 because it feels like you said it yourself. You added a Chen skill 3, mini Chen skill 3. I guess. Sure. Yeah, but other than that, everything else is it's very utility agent. Feels more supportive than anyone. I like the trade-off you have with stats, and his defense is useful, but it's not nearly as useful as just raw attack. Let's be real. And I think the risk reward is nice to see on the skill too. So overall, pretty solid. I'd give this one also like for cohesion like a 2.5. It's pretty solid.
Nice. So 8.9 from Medkits. I think with the pace that we're going and with the score that I'm going to give, I believe we're going to have a new first place person. We'll start with the lore. I think the lore was solid. Like, again, solid. I'm like, oh hey, some Sargon lore, I'll be damned. Oh wow, Sargon lore that actually talks about Inam. We're not, it's like, oh yeah, we're not just going, Pepe things. No, sorry, I'm sorry, Pepe. But, I'll give it like a 1.7 for lore. I'll give it 1.7 for lore. For the kit itself, I think this is a pretty solid take on an agent. It's like agent, and you went a bit more outside the box with what you're trying to do with the agent. It's more puzzle coded. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see the uses all immediately. I'm like, oh yeah, this will be a very useful agent. I like what you did here with the kit. This is a cool, like, fresh new take on the kit. I'll give you a 2 point. I'll give you 2.5 for it. For balance, yeah, no, I think the balance is great. Like, this is a really good way. Like, this is a really good way of showing a kit that helps your operators, is strong, like, can be strong, with the attack or the defense. You have the flexibility of that. But it doesn't feel broken, right? It's a nice pad. You do your job, you can you do the steal, you buff your ally a bit, and then it's nice. I genuinely really like this. If I give this a 3, this will be the best balance I've ever seen. Is this the best balance I've ever seen? I would not say this is the best balance I've ever seen, but it is very close, so I'll give you a 2.9. No perfect score from me. As for cohesion integration, I think it fits together really well. I think with what you design, your Talent 1 interacts with your S1 and S2 very well. I think, personally, the S2 range is a little bit wide. And it's a little bit odd with, like, the triple, like, the immediate dash, like, I'm not gonna get too wonky with it, but I'll give you a 2 point. I like it though. I like the kit. I'll give it another 2.5 for it. So 9.6 for me. Very well done. Well done. Well done. So it's a 9.6 for me, an 8.9 for medkits, and a 9.3 on Boop, which means that we very much have a new number 1. Well done. Well done, Sir Quacker. Also means I have to move like the entire freaking leaderboard, so damn it, Quacker. But well done. Yeah, I like if Mercury came into the game, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Without going like, damn you, Hyperdrift. So, well done. Very well done. Well done. Alright, so that'll finish off for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for the remaining, I believe, 7 operators that we have. Yeah, we got 7 more ops tomorrow, so it'll start with Bull. Tomorrow will be Bullshot, Blue, GG, Skami, Ambrisk, Kagami, and Hyper. Oh, there's some big names on day 2. We got Skami and Ambrisk. Oh, we got some big names on day 2. So
Can't wait to get a tie between them tomorrow.
oh my god, if I get another friggin' tie. Anywho, that'll do it from us tonight. Any last words from fellow judges before we call it tonight?
Hydrate. This is a threat. I will come and steal one of each of your socks so none of you have a pair to wear if you don't hydrate right now.
Very odd threat, but understandable.
Listen. Waking up and realizing that you've lost a sock for a pair that you really like is like the most terrifying thing ever that's happened to me in the past week.
Alright. Anything to add medkits before we send everyone off?
I never knew I would give the 5-star the best score. I told you I like simple stuff the best.
Understandable. Alright. So I'm gonna send you off a goodie to end the night. I don't know, I gotta figure out a raid message. You know what? We'll just steal Boops. There we go. Hydrate or else. That'll be raid message. I'm gonna send you out a goodie. I think he's doing IS5. I know, right? I have 2 days where I don't do IS5. I feel weird not doing IS5. Also, what else do you think for the follow? I'm gonna send y'all to goodie.
Bro, IS5 is so weird. I haven't done it. I've done like 3 runs and I haven't gone past floor 3 because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
It's fun but wonky. Alright, off to goodie you go. Have a good night, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.
Everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye guys.